Oh yeah, hold on. Thank you.
It's all
It's gonna be one
Recording
of them
in
nights, bro.
progress.
it's
It's
all,
gonna be one of them type of nights, man.
it's okay.
This
It's
type of
okay.
night
It's
is gonna
okay.
be.
I do believe in magic. I believe in
Think you
I do believe in magic.
think you've ever done anything magic?
Do I believe I've ever done anything magic?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's considered real magic though. I've done
I
some
mean,
very magical shit on the football field and with a broad.
oh, okay. Mr. Toxic is back.
But if you be like hocus pocus magic, I don't know. I don't think I have, but I do believe in it though. If you practice
Yeah,
it. I'm afraid to try to dabble into it, to be honest with you.
bro. I think that either I know magic or there's some kind of magic. It's like in my soul, or when I get pushed. You know what I'm saying? Magic happens because I swear, man. I know I left this hat on Bel Air and in Tanglewood. I know I did. I'm 100% sure I did.
And where did you find the hat? Where did it pop up at?
Sitting smushed up in a place where it shouldn't, where it had no place being. But it would. But what I'm saying is, I wore the cap to the game today, 12:30. Stopped somewhere else on Bel Air and Tanglewild to holler at the coach.
That's what we calling him,
And
a coach.
I went to a different gym afterwards to holler at the coach. Yeah. Uh, and then so I leave. You know, I'm after I hooped. You know, you get your stuff. You usually just get up and leave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was getting phone numbers, asking some of my old students. And they you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, you can come back, whatever. So I'm getting the numbers. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I thought some kids that was anyway. I left. I know I left. I know I have my jacket, man, because I'm gonna get in the car and oof, you know what I'm saying? On my pullover. I think I'm magic, bro.
Are you by the airport?
No, but a big truck just went by.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I do believe in manifestation. I believe you think about it long enough, repeat it over and over, say it, picture yourself in it, whether if it's the new car or a new position at your job or just a new situation in life, period. If you can imagine yourself in that spot and manifest it, I believe that's a magic trick I've done before.
You ever tried to do it with a woman?
Is the Spanish fly involved?
That's what I thought that song was about. Halle Berry. I thought he was trying to invoke her spirit, man.
Oh man. Oh man. So we got some guests tonight, man.
We have a guest, man. We have a request. And that led me to get with this guest.
Man, you never asked me what pod this was.
Oh, man. They know what part this is, man. What part this is, man?
Now let's begin the story.
That time, motherfuckers. Dub down, motherfuckers.
H-Town's finest 16 Shots Podcast. Yes, this is us. This is the 16 Shots Podcast with Young James Boogie and AR Dub.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
You see we got that NFT out there though, bro.
I see, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm still trying to figure out the NMT game, man.
I do not know exactly what I did. Honestly, I don't know what I did, bro. I either put a piece of digital artwork that was created by no one other than the Young James Boogie, or I put our first episode up for auction as well. I don't know what I did, bro. Either way it goes, someone's gonna own a piece of 16 Shots podcast history.
At some point.
I saw we got like 14 new followers in the Facebook group today as well. Like 14, bro.
I don't know, man. I know some of the members have friends that have And I wanted to, see what it's all about. And
We need a billboard, bro.
nigga here going, what?
We need a
You look for
billboard.
a billboard?
Bro, think about it. We can get a billboard for like $1,000 for like a month. We need a billboard, bro. Where would you put a billboard? If you could put a billboard anywhere, where would you put it?
How big? We talking 12 by 16? You talking about like the one that's on the freeway?
Nah, I'm talking about like
you
the
talking
freeway billboard. Like, nigga driving down the street and see the billboard. I really would love to know how much the campaign costs, like, for the digital billboards at the bus stations and shit in New York or something. Like, how much them shits cost?
They got some in Houston.
They got digital billboards in H now.
Yeah, they've been having some right down. They got some on Beltway 8 and Belford.
Mm.
They got some kind of almost in Mo City too. They changed like about 8 things on each side.
Mm. So what's going down with you tonight, man? What we got going on? What's on the docket?
Man, so trying to get all this. Oh, there we go. Hold up. Next.
How did I throw you under the bus by simply stating you have the video?
Oh, there we go. We got action. Okay, so nah, man, you be throwing me under the bus, bro. You always say I listen to the podcast, but I do listen to the podcast. I listen to you. Tried to call me all types of homophobic. I'm not homophobic. Trying to call me gay like 100 times.
Who? Who tried to call you gay?
You try to make all these gay.
What are you talking about?
I see, like, out the blue, Sydney. He's like, Sydney, we don't know how old he is. Sydney. I'm like, hold up, bro. Time out, man. Time out, bro. Sydney, look, he put Beijing in. He put you quick to try to throw him under the bus. But that's not. I was just joking with that though. Oh, pretty in black. Look at that. Can she hear me? Right to tat tat. I think she can hear me now.
I can.
I think she can hear me. Okay.
And you got to do better, sir.
Listen, okay. You don't know what just happened. There was a whole situation going on. It was catastrophic, indubitably. So let me introduce the topic to both of y'all. We talked about it the other day.
Are you going to introduce your guests?
Bro, how you gonna tell me how to do this? I'm a professional.
I just asked,
bro.
was you gonna introduce the guest? You gotta introduce
I was,
the guest.
bro, but I was gonna introduce the guest. I was gonna say what I had to say.
My bad.
Hold up.
Sorry.
Then I was gonna say
I don't want to tell you what
brought
how to
along Miss Anae Devon from the Conversations and Cocktails podcast. I was gonna get there.
Cocktails and conversations.
Cocktails and conversations. I'm not good with saying cocktails.
I knew I seen her before, but she switched the help again.
Oh, well, that's what they do, man.
Yeah. She switched the help.
I didn't really switch it up. This is my natural look.
Oh, okay. Thank you, the intro ruiner, Mr. Dub. Okay, so as I was going to say, we have listeners that listen to the pod, and we're not, whatever. But people, check in time to time, so it's kind of spotty sometimes. I understand it. There are other more established podders out there that they might have already listened to. But anyway, they'll call and say, hey, you guys had a commentary on this, and y'all need to have a woman on there because what y'all was saying, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So in that vein, the call I got was we were talking about penis size. And so we both were like, man, she's kind of tripping. Like, you know what I'm saying? We were both like, man, a baby comes out of there. So how, like, I know what I'm doing is purely just for her, mental, because that's a whole baby head come out of there. And so I think you agree with me as well. We were on board with that. What she told me is something different. You know what I'm saying? And it's a different feeling, different pain, different sensation. So we need a female, a woman, somebody who I don't want to say has taken a few dicks, but somebody who, that's not what I'm trying. I mean, someone who's actually had intimate dealings with a penis to to school us on, does size matter?
Alexa, off. It depends. It really depends. It depends on the status or the emotional attachment.
She said status first, though. What would you finna say?
Because I say status because of the fact, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're in love with that person, then we might be able to get past a few things. You know what I'm saying? Like, size might not make a difference, but it's all about satisfaction. So, I mean, if you small but you give good head, we might be able to get past a few things. But I mean,
so you can't be short in one and not in the other. But if you're in the other, then you can be short in.
It depends on the woman, because some women not big on head.
Yeah.
They big on penetration. So, I mean, it depends. And also keep in mind, a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to a woman, there's it's not a one size fit all, but the vaginal area is only set up for a maximum of 7 inches.
Goddamn.
Get you a life first. Anyway, it's set up that
I'm joking.
Not saying that somebody can't take more, but I'm saying other than that, it will be a stretch. But the thing is, you can be big and it be completely uncomfortable and unsatisfying. And you can be small, and if somebody's emotionally into you, you didn't hit the spot. So, I mean, it varies.
And what was your rebuttal for that, young James Boogie?
I have no rebuttal. That's the same thing. I was told pretty much the same thing, that I didn't know if you're going to go into this. I didn't want to speak from a perspective because you know better, but she was telling me about the cervixes, and she said the same thing about 7 inches, that once you get past 7 inches, now you're putting pressure on that cervix, and that's painful. There's no pleasure in that area when it's being hit, especially how I be. Now I'm joking again. I'm joking. But what else she say? I don't know.
I feel like we stated like we need to have a female on for this conversation.
Yeah.
We did state that though. So
I mean,
it's the same way, there's the whole question about length versus girth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, because my thing is, if you go into somewhere small and you're big, the friction is just gonna be horrible, because you're not given no space to draw witness. It's gonna be dry, and it's not because she's not into you. It's just gonna be the simple fact that it ain't no breathing room in there. So it varies, and then of course, if you get somewhere that they got room and you slide on in, it probably ain't mentally there. I mean, me and my girls have talked about it all. I mean, I've had small, I've had big, and I've had right in between, and that in between is what did it for me.
In between.
What is the size for in between, if you had to give a size?
I couldn't tell you that. Gotcha. I can't tell you that. I mean, it ain't like I don't do no measuring, so I can't really say. It's just I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
Everybody's, like I said, everybody's size is, different. It depends. I mean, I can't say I've had a slew of, well, let me not say that. Let me take that back. Well, I can say I haven't had a slew of sexual partners. However, some people have a lot of sex and they get stretched out, and that may make a difference on what they take. And so they might be able to take a horse.
So
and
if
shit.
you come across
And
a young lady or young man who is has a lot of
Did you just say? Did you just say?
I'm trying to be politically correct, man. You know, or young man, I don't know. That has a plethora of partners.
Okay.
Like Young James Boogie, your camera's out of focus.
I know. God, why everything happened to my camera? Everything happened to me. You got to always point out. You know what I'm saying? Everything happened to me. He just be like, "Oh yeah, you know."
You know what, man? You trying to create this narrative, but you started because you started with my hairline jokes. Mad because you didn't have a hairline, my guy. So
See what I'm saying? Here we
literally,
go.
every time I roll up, you got something to critique about my haircut.
Bro, you had a bad haircut month, bro. We all had it, man. Even me, the
No,
bald
nigga,
guy.
I've never had a bad haircut month. I had one bad haircut.
It was no. When you moved to Atlanta, bro, they was giving you the fire, everything else. Like she was talking about,
The nigga gave me a little boosted fade. He did give me a little boosted fade, yeah.
And with the bad edge.
And I never went back to him.
But in the next chick you had, she was giving you great fades.
Oh, she did give, but she gave me the bad. She gave me the bad edge up though. But she was short though. I told you she was too short.
But she got that job, man.
But she was too short though.
So what I'm saying is this: they have been hoeing you, man.
Bro, you've come on this pod with bad beard edge ups, and I've never said a word about it. I've never said like a word about it, bro.
I've had a bad beard edge up day.
A couple of times.
I'm not. Everybody has one, yeah.
But I don't point it out. I don't say nothing about it. But you, however,
no, you don't point out. You be like, James Boogie just from dress one time.
I said you did what?
Put on a dress one time. You know he wore a wig before.
If you want to keep it a buck, I've only brought that up once you start posting your cross-dressing pictures.
There's not cross-dressing pictures, bro. I'm glad. See, I don't have a background today, bro. This is real. This is the real deal. So I'm not putting no background today, man. So you're not having fun. Am I? See how you do?
And then secondly,
because when you say that, I got to prove him wrong. I'd be like, I'm not cross-dressing.
And then secondly, I only brought up the time you came out the closet with young ladies' clothing on. I only did that once because we were talking about it.
Make it 12 times?
No, I only did that on one pod.
Okay, the Rockets.
I'm saying I only did that on one pod because we were talking about it.
You know we record this, right?
I said I only did that on one pod.
Before yesterday.
What are you talking about?
See, man. What were we talking about? So there's not a size. There's not a, it's all relative to the woman, right? So
right.
What does that say to you about a guy who lives through his penis? Does that mean y'all can't be compatible because he's really like he lives through his penis?
To be truthful, I'm not one of those like somebody that's bragging about what they got. I pay no attention to them people at all.
But you ain't gotta brag. I'm not talking about me, but I'm saying you ain't gotta brag about it. You just like you proud. I'm proud of my.
You're proud of your penis? Is that what you're saying, Book?
No, bro. I'm proud of my hats, right? I'm proud of my hats, right? I don't gotta brag to let you know. When you see that off-color strohs, that off-color, right? I ain't gotta brag, but you see that thing.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've had somebody randomly send me like a print.
And I'm sorry about that. I thought my bad. I won't do that anymore. It's my bad. I'm sorry.
I immediately block them. Like, I don't ask for that type of stuff. I don't care about that type of stuff because I'm mental. You can't, I'm not going to be like, oh shit, I got to get on that. Nah, that's not me. You can try that with some of them, but that's definitely not going to be for me. There's those out there that don't want to be in a relationship. That's all they trying to do is just smash. Like, I'm going to get that. Mm-hmm. Women are probably more like that than men. It's like when we see something we like, it's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna try that.
So, exploring that, what do y'all do? How do y'all go about it?
It depends on it depends on the woman because sometimes some women are more aggressive. It's a lot of women that are now more aggressive and they don't have a problem approaching men.
Well, I want you to give me an example of an aggressive and a not so aggressive way that either you or somebody has done before as a woman.
I mean, like I said, some women don't have a problem with approaching. So I'm not gonna say that's aggressive, but I'm saying like for me, I'm not approaching no man. So if you're scared to approach me, we just won't talk.
So
even if I think you're cute, or if I think you're attractive, you can't come to me, then we just won't talk. So
we just sitting in the room, drinking, looking at each other, smiling.
My thing is, if we make eye contact, you got to be a man. Because if we make eye contact, then clearly I notice you noticing me, or vice versa.
I be that whole eye contact thing is awkward to me because I look everybody in the eyes. I was just talking to people in the eyes, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a room scanner.
And people probably think you weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. No, but well, I mean, no, you don't scan the room when you come somewhere and you just take mental pictures of what's going on. Boom.
Yeah, but you're not looking at everybody in their eyes if you scan in the room. Like, I mean, well, I don't. I might scan a room and just look around and see. But like,
well, if we catch eyes though, if I'm scanning the room, you scan the room right now. And I'm scanning the room. Boom, we lock eyes.
So we lock eyes, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about that's the first time we locked eyes.
Yeah. So hold up, just
and
like right now. Right now, just look. We lock eyes. I want you to subtly let me know that. Listen.
The first time we lock eyes, we just locked eyes. It might be one of those situations, like you say, you scanning the room. So you walked in, you looked up, somebody was looking at you, y'all locked eyes, but we're gonna keep it pushing. Yeah. Now, but later on, after you done had an opportunity to peep that person, and you just so happen to look that way, and they looking at you again, then clearly it's more than just a scan.
Mm-hmm.
So if we've locked eyes more than once, and I gave you a smile, and you still set your ragged ass over there and didn't move, that's on you. That ain't on me.
And that's subtle, or is that aggressive?
No, that's subtle.
Okay, now give me an example of aggressive.
You walk over, you say something fly. I have a homegirl that her mouth is worse than mine.
Yeah.
So, but she's also not the type that would say anything, but like I said, but she talk mad shit. Mm-hmm. But like a lot of women that are more aggressive will probably just walk over and just tell somebody, like tell the guy how they look. Mm-hmm. You sexy, you fine, or whatever the case may be. Or, women got lines too.
That's what I'm trying to hear. I'm trying to hear.
I don't know. I don't do no macking. Like I say, I'm not the type of person that I don't do macking. So they don't work for me. So unfortunately for you, I can't really give you no game. I'm not that type of person. I talk shit. Now, honestly, if somebody, let's say if I'm at the bar and somebody come up and say something to me, I might say something real fly, like just off the wall fly. And if it don't intimidate you or run you away and you got something to say back, then we might have a conversation. But if I say something and you be like, damn, my bad, then guess what? Shit, you sensitive to me.
What's an example of that? Give me an example of that.
Like, let's say I'm at the bar and somebody come over and he say, let's say I'm ordering drinks. Let's say I'm ordering drinks for my girls, and he come over and say, "Damn, you gonna order mine too?" I might say, "Nigga, you got me fucked up. You need to be paying for these." And see what he say. Sometimes that's gonna turn. Sometimes that's gonna. But again, that's my mouth. Sometimes it's gonna turn somebody a dude off, and sometimes they be like, "Well, it ain't no problem." As long as you give me that number, and then we can go from there. So it varies. It depends on the dude. My thing is, I don't like a passive guy. I can't do a passive guy at all. You have to be able to talk shit with me. And if we can't talk shit together, then I just feel like we got a dry ass level of communication and it ain't gonna work.
What if when you ask me if I should be buying all them drinks, I'll wipe all them hoes out and then 2 drinks for all them women? That ain't enough. Is that too aggressive on the way back?
What is this noise? Okay. I don't know. I hear noise.
I don't want to say anything because he says that I throw him under the bus too much.
I got some. My audio is messing up again.
Yeah,
I said I try to do something
I
new,
don't want to
man.
say nothing, man, because
I try to do something.
say
I
I
got
throw
a new
you under the
device,
bus.
man. That's not really doing what it's supposed to do, man. I'm gonna,
It's like what noise?
I hate both of y'all right now.
Boy.
I hope both of y'all fall downstairs and skin like don't hurt yourself, but like to skin your knees a little bit and get a little bump on your elbow.
What is this
And when you
nonsense?
rev
Put
it,
this back up in the screen. What is this nonsense? What is it?
oh,
What did you buy?
it's
What is
a
this?
live sound card. See why you gotta see how you trying to blow my stuff? What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? This nonsense. This little now see what I was doing. I was gonna get another K sound blaster, and this popped up on the hey, this can do the same thing type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And got me a whole mic and everything. You know what I'm saying? I was ready to go.
Are you using that mic?
No, man, I don't think so. I don't feel like it.
What's
You
the
know what I'm
price point?
saying?
What was the price point?
Huh?
What was the price point?
It was
Was it cheaper than the sound blaster with the mic included?
yeah.
Throw that,
It was.
throw that shit out
But
the window.
the what?
Throw that shit out the window.
Look, man. It. I haven't learned how to use it yet. Okay, I haven't learned how. Because I can hear all kinds of stuff. I see all the signs.
You know what that sound like?
What?
It sound like them fake teeth chattering.
That's what I told him. It sounded like a ghost or some shit, like a goblin or something. But you know, I ain't want to bring it up again because he said that I'd be throwing him under the bus. So I'm glad you brought it up, not me.
That's why. That's why both of y'all
So you go.
never saw Jumanji the whole way through. Okay, that's interesting though. That's interesting. Dub, what are your thoughts on penis size? It doesn't matter.
What are my thoughts on penis size and does it matter?
Mm-hmm. You ever saw a girl and thought like, I ain't got enough of that, or ever saw a girl and be like, man, I break her in half.
I've never saw a young lady and said I ain't got enough of that. I ain't got enough for that. I don't try to break people in half, bro. I just want to satisfy the young lady. You know what I'm saying? I just want to satisfy the young lady. You know.
I'm just joking.
I'm not trying to like break young ladies in two. You know. I want to satisfy the young lady. You know. The fuck?
I'm saying that like, see, that's probably his place doing that.
That's my dog.
I don't know why. Oh, but no, because I'm like sometimes I'm thinking to myself like, man, no, she too small, man. I don't care. Like it's why midgets out the question, man. Midgets out the question, man.
Midgets?
Yeah, if I like this big, I can't. What I'm doing is a human being this big. That's awkward. I don't have that.
So, okay, so I think one thing that what is really, really funny is you've heard, I've heard that guys always talking about a girl that is stretched out or have no walls or whatever the case may be, which I think is like ridiculous because my thing is at the end of the day, how you know you're just not big enough? Maybe she has walls. Maybe you just not big enough to touch them.
I think most dudes who give young ladies that slander, that might be the case. They just probably felt the way because she let them know that they weren't big enough for her. So to combat it when they got around their partners, that's the excuse they used.
I'm gonna say someone that is talented, that has a grip, don't usually have too many problems unless that person is small.
Oh, I used to think that big girls, I'm talking about 300, like big olds, nothing wrong with them, but I'm saying I used to think that like they had like this big huge, because they had the pants that came over, like where the pants up here. So I thought, all. No, I mean I didn't know, man. I thought all that was just vagina. I'm like, oh man, hell no, man. No, man. I wasn't that big, man.
You childish.
What I mean, how am I supposed to know that at 11, 12, man? I'm looking for the waistline. I'm thinking waistline, belly button, vagina. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knowing that all that's belly and the belly button stuff at the bottom of that. I ain't know that, man. I thought it was up here.
And when did you find out?
Well, when I got old enough to realize that,
That, like, you found out through experience, or you just
No, I didn't find out through experience. That's a nice one though. Nice.
How did you find out though? Like, if you didn't find out through experience, like, you just
I
saw it on
found
porn
out
or something, bro?
from living life, man, and seeing like not having a 12-year-old perspective on things.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you meant you like physically saw this and experienced it, like
I mean,
firsthand.
I always thought I thought that people's
A big girl
waist,
got you.
No, I thought the
You said
waistline.
that fast.
Yeah, he don't want to
did,
admit it.
didn't you?
Yeah. He don't want to admit it.
I
Come
thought-
on.
Why you fat girl shaming, bro?
See, man, this we talk about these narratives, man.
This is ridiculous.
Why you fat
We
girl
done talked
shaming,
about
bro?
being fake though.
So
I'm not being fake.
so you never smashed a fat girl before, bro?
Why did you do this to me?
I'm just asking. This is a general question.
That is a complete yes. You done did it.
I didn't.
It's nothing to
Okay,
be
I didn't say I
ashamed
didn't.
of.
I didn't say I
Big girls
didn't.
like love too.
So why
I
is it
didn't
so
say I-
hard for you to just say, you thought this at a young age, and once you experienced it, you realized it was different?
No. But I'm saying is that's not when I figured it out. I'm saying that as a youth, I thought wherever your waistline was, your belly button, because that's Santa Claus belly. But I don't know. I don't never seen nobody's biology like that. But then I got older and had an actual biology class. And like, oh man, that's just belly. That ain't all vagina. Anyway, and then I ain't see. I can't even say my big girl joke because now you make seem like a big girl shaming.
No, I say you big girl joke. I want to hear it now, bro.
No, man. No, I refuse.
There's no
Even
reason
though-
to act like that. It's okay.
Even though if Joe Rogan can say nigga 100 times, I should be able to say whatever I want about big
Man,
girls.
how many times you said it?
About 400 million.
I mean, you probably said that shit like 10 times, bro.
That was like different shows over like years. I saw at least 20. Like
How long
NDRE.
Man, NDRE better go back to not making music, bro, and leave us alone.
I said again, I don't agree with her on the way she did it.
I just
Well,
can't. I can't
disagree with her, what she's saying now.
I can't let anyone else make me be outraged. Because
Did Joe Rogan call you a nigga?
Where was this outrage 10, 15 years ago? Joe Rogan
Hey.
ain't changed. Joe Rogan has been the same since forever. So he hasn't changed. So
Maybe she
why?
just found out.
I just want to know why all of a sudden.
Maybe
is
she
the
just found
outrage.
out.
But why did she just find out? What
Because
is
she wasn't listening to Joe. She's like, who is this Joe Rogan dude?
But why did she find out though? But why did she find out though?
She found out because Spotify, because of the Neil Young stuff
And what was he outraged about?
about his fake information. So she did some research on him and found out he be saying nigga. What? Oh hell no, I'm out. What's wrong? Is that not possible?
If you don't even listen to him, why does it matter?
So can he call you nigga?
He can try if he wants to.
Oh, so he can't call you nigga, but it's okay if he says nigga as long as he don't call you nigga.
I never said it was okay. So, and this is my
okay.
thing. I never said it was okay, but
What should be done then? I'm asking.
I don't think anything should be done. But I think council culture is stupid as fuck. First off,
So he can say nigga, but he can't call you a nigga.
we can say cracker,
But we should.
right?
Okay.
And if we're that outraged about the word nigga, then nobody should be using it. So
but he can't say it though.
if you want to say nigga, he can say nigga. If you want to say it to a black person's face, he can try to say it to a black person's face as well.
Oh, so you're saying that as long as you don't say it to the black person's face, then it doesn't matter.
That's not what I
I'm
said.
just trying to figure it out.
I never said any of that.
Okay, well, tell me the.
I never
space
said
where he can say-
I never said that he should just walk around and say nigga. Just like honestly, we shouldn't walk around and say cracker. No one should really walk around and say any slur. But if we have,
I think it's crazy because I don't think as many people walk around. I think it's like a third of people that would use the term cracker versus the word nigger.
what I'm saying is this: we gave Chappelle grace, right? We said it shouldn't matter. Whatever Chappelle says, he's a comedian. He should be protected, right?
In reference to what did he say? What did he call somebody?
Just anything. When it came out with the LGBTQ community or whatever, and whatever other terms or slurs that he said that they had an issue with,
They ain't have no slurs.
No, I'm saying we got him passed though, right?
No, but he ain't had no slurs in there. He said they didn't like his ideology. It wasn't a word he said or he called them out of their name.
But what's the difference though? Did Joe Rogan say black people are niggas?
He referred to black people when he was talking about niggas, or he was making like can he say nigga? If you say he can say nigga, then that's how you feel. I can't.
If you want to say nigga, you can say nigga, bro.
So if you saying that you just said if he wants to say nigga, he can say nigga.
If you want to say nigga, say nigga.
But you think it's not okay in the same breath.
He can't say it to me.
But once again, so it's what is the determining factor if he says it to you or if he says it to
so I think I stated I think I stated my thought process with saying I don't think it's okay for anybody to say any slurs. So okay. I did answer your question.
Okay, right, but he's saying those slurs.
Okay, he said those slurs over the span of 15 years. Where was the outrage when he first said it?
I didn't know he said that many times until just now.
So I'm not saying that people are wrong for being offended or being offended at the fact that Joe Rogan said nigga, okay? I'm not saying that at all. My question to you and to everyone else is, why now are we offended by the things that Joe Rogan says? Joe Rogan has been saying the exact same things for 15 years. And if we're going to be that upset about white people who said nigga, like we voted a whole president in who's on the record has been caught saying nigga. Like, so are we going to police him too? We're going to counsel him too? Or are we counseling Joe Rogan because he isn't playing by the rules of the institution?
Dr. Umar Johnson would not be happy with you right now, sir.
Dr. Umar Johnson has been raping niggas for 10 years trying to build a school.
Okay. But I said that to say that
I'm not mad. I'm not. All right, say what you're gonna say. I'm saying I'm not mad. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying people shouldn't be offended by what one Joe Rogan has said. Okay, what I'm saying is this: why are we offended now? Are we offended?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying exactly. Did you know before last week that Joe Rogan was saying nigga like that on his show?
I've probably listened to Joe Rogan's platform over the span of 6 years. So I've seen some clips of him saying some questionable shit. I've seen him saying some questionable shit about black people, about Jewish people, about a bunch of people.
Okay, did he say nigga? Did you know it was more than 10? Because it was definitely more than 10.
I never said I didn't go back and do the math to count.
All right. So what I'm saying is I didn't know that.
But I'm not caught up on nigga though.
I'm not, huh?
I'm not caught up on the nigga aspect of it.
But
I'm not caught up on those words, nigga, because I'm more trying to figure out why now. I want to know why. No. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not upset with India Irie. This isn't this thing that's going on with Joe Rogan right now. It's not an India Irie thing. It's not a what's the other dude? What's his name?
Neil Young.
It's not a Neil Young thing, and it's not an India Irie thing. The reason why this has come up, like these two people, they aren't powerful. They're not powerful enough to say, "Oh, I'm ready to counsel Joe Rogan today." Like she didn't hop on that bandwagon because she woke up on a Tuesday and was like, "You know what? I think Joe Rogan said nigga too many times." Like it's a reasoning why they want this man silenced, and so this is how they're doing it.
I get it.
I mean, am I tripping? Am I wrong? Because before 2 weeks ago,
I think you're wrong a little bit, bro.
I'm saying before 2 weeks. I mean,
ago, but I can't say that he's completely wrong because people don't want to. They don't usually want to say exactly why they're doing something, and they always have to find a way out. So I mean, I wouldn't disagree that this would be their way out.
So what happened was, so you telling me? Let's okay. So I'm not trying to get on either side of this. I'm trying to be as logical as I can and be as open-minded as I can to all parties involved. But if I start at a micro or a macro, if I say on a large scale level, man, we don't want nobody to say nigga at all, right? Whether it's black, white, or nothing. That's off the rip, right? If I can point out you as a person of color saying it, a non-person of color. If you get called out in any way for saying it, next day should have been an apology. Next day, off the rip. There's no other way. If he don't come out the next day, man, look, I was tripping right there, or explaining it, then I feel I'm questioning about him now. Secondly, when it comes to why now, like, there's no time I don't think that is better than the present. Like, I didn't know. So if I didn't know, why would she know? She has less time to indulge herself in watching podcasts. She's touring 108 times of the year, 100 days of the year. She's an artist, you know what I'm saying? She goes away. But what I'm saying is, no, man, he don't get no pass. It's not about canceling him.
Well, it's not about the pass though. I'm not saying he need to pass. A, B, I know he's put an apology out. I don't know the timeline that the apology was put out after India Irie put out her receipts for him saying nigga.
I ain't heard no apology saying nigga. I heard apology for him for the information. He ain't saying nothing about saying nigga all the time.
No, he put out an apology about it. He addressed him saying those words. But
I would say this. I feel like at any point, if someone is able to say that many noticeable times, then they comfortable with saying it in the first place. So to me, an apology wouldn't really mean shit, because this is something you do on a regular basis. Just the fact that you've slipped up and did it nationally to where others can hear you. But clearly this is something you do on a regular basis.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, now I'm going to how do we hold ourselves accountable? How do we hold, I'm talking about as individuals in life, how do we, like you said, changing that, you got to act this way to change the narrative as a black man when something happens. You can't just say what we throwing Antonio Brown under the bus for sticking up for what he thinks is sticking up for himself. But we hold him to the standard. How come he should be held to that same, like,
well,
now, bro.
Nobody said that we was giving him a pass for it.
No, I'm saying, but we should be his conversation about Joe Rogan should be the exact same way as we talked about Antonio Brown, because if you have all this questionable language about people, and we giving you this big platform, and you can't get a pass and be like, well, I said, man.
Well, hold on, who's giving him a pass though?
No, but I'm saying he got to be held to the same moral standard that we held everybody to.
Who's saying we're not holding him to a moral standard though? My question, no. My question for you, like I said, I might not be articulating it correctly. I'm not mad at anyone who was upset with Joe Rogan and wants to cancel him over the words he said. I'm not upset about that. My question was, why now? If he's been doing this for 15 plus years and he's had a platform for this long, why now? And when I say why now, I'm saying I'm not going to let someone else tell me when to be upset with someone. Same thing with Antonio Brown. I'm not finna be outraged because people want me to be outraged about Antonio Brown. But what I'm saying is, Joe Rogan, why do we want Joe Rogan silenced? It didn't start out with the N-word. It started out with someone saying that he was providing misinformation about a COVID vaccine. A COVID vaccine,
I agree,
where he really wasn't spreading misinformation. He actually had scientists, doctors, constituents of all of these, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, fucking.
But he was wrong for what he did.
What did he do to all? That's what I'm saying. Every pod he stated, this is my opinion. Do your own research. These are the things I'm doing. I'm calling these professionals to come educate me about it. So some of the doctors, you can call bullshit, but some of the some of the doctors that he had on his platform, they were unbiased. They just gave you information from the trials they were involved in, from the studies. They didn't say don't get vaccinated. They didn't say do get vaccinated. They simply just put the information out there, bro. So why now they want to silence him? They weren't trying to silence him. No. Listen. Yes, they are. They weren't trying to silence him when he was on his Trump shit. They weren't trying to silence him then.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, though, Doug.
But now they want to silence him now.
Like I said before, they have to have a reason, and the thing is, this is what they're using as their reason to shut him up in regards to other stuff. We all know how the government works. We all know, there's things that's going to be hidden and whatnot. So we got to find a way. When we want somebody to shut up, let's make it look like an obvious reason or something that makes no sense or something that is controversial that's going to make us look bad versus the stuff that's really going on that's going to make people look into it.
If both of y'all had a car lot on Shepherd and 59, and you had a insurance agency on Shepherd 59, right? Small business doing okay. Would you want the three largest car chains and insurance companies to post up right in front of your store every day?
What do you mean?
Would you want, if you have a business, would you want the three largest businesses?
Would I want them to post up in front of my store
every day?
I don't want nobody. I don't want any competition posted up in front of my store.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But they're not selling nothing. They ain't selling nothing. They got representatives posted in front of your store every day. But they ain't selling nothing. These representatives ain't. What I'm saying is, he wrong for that, because where we're at right now and what we're trying to do, he's a big representative. People listen to him.
So he's wrong for his opinion.
Let me finish. So you can have your opinion, bro, but your opinion is a theory, and you're using the fact that you have this large audience to tell everybody your theory that is just as fallible as the theory they're using right now. Like, even though he's bringing doctors on, they could be as wrong as the doctors who are spouting them, because nobody knows what the fuck going on. So,
but let me ask you a question: if nobody knows what's going on, and all it is just another avenue of information, if it's no different than you getting information in January from the CDC, and then that shit change, and they give you something different in February. He's not saying, "Hey, follow this." It's simply information. And he's asking questions. If you listen to the podcast,
Google.
I'm saying, if you listen to the podcast, when he has these doctors on, he's not trying to sway a conversation. He's actually asking just questions. He's literally asking questions about the virus, the studies, the part they played. You'll have the doctors on there. The doctors on there will tell them, hey, we're not going to talk about that because that's conspiracy theory. Nah, we're going to talk about the facts of the studies and the results that we've had. The patients I've treated, how I've treated myself. And it's not like he's only had people from one side. He's had the Dr. Sanjay Guptas on. He's had McMaster's on, bro. Like, he's had people from both sides. So he hasn't just said, don't get vaccinated, bro. He will tell you, well, I was finna get vaccinated.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this, and this is the part I think you guys are missing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I can agree with you to an extent saying they try to get him out of there. And it's not because it's obvious, man. Like, I'm 100% sure, 1,000% sure that the CDC, the WHO, all these large companies, all these large agencies came to the Joe Rogans and the influencers, the people that had a lot of, and like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is how we're trying to do it. It ain't the perfect way, but we don't want to don't throw the wrenches in our shit. But we're not saying you wrong. We ain't saying just don't blow this up, because now instead of having the chances that, because we all doing the same thing, but as a whole, we decided, like, the Chinese, the German, the French, the Americans, all together was like, okay, we're gonna try this vaccine. Not saying that everybody tried, I'm saying, but the unification. Not saying that everybody was okay with it. Some said no, but the ones that came together decided on this. So they ran the same test. They came up with, okay, we got a 70%, 80%, or whatever percent. They came up with what they came up with. At the end of the day, it's like, are you doing more help or are you doing more harm? Because you putting out, when you put out a different idealism like that in a time like this, people are already frazzled.
So you're saying that in a country where we should have freedom of speech, you're not allowed to speak against the government because the government is just trying to throw something against the wall and see if it sticks, and we should fall in line with it.
No, I'm saying that if you think that the government doesn't have the interest of keeping more people alive than not, then that the math might always do the math, man. They have a thing called mathematical chemistry, I think. I forgot. But the math, like if I have power and I control people, why would I want to limit the people?
It's not it's a limit at certain type of people.
Why?
Yeah, I want to limit a certain type of people.
But how? But so now I'm turning. So if I take a certain type of people out, that means I can no longer oppress those people. I gotta replace those people that were doing these things with something, whether it be automation or whether it be different people. But now they're the oppressed ones. Like that space, if you eliminate all the peoples that whatever, now that type of people is gone. You think people not gonna replace those people? Like another set of people is gonna be pushing that set of people?
Okay, it's all bringing slavery back.
What I'm saying, let's say I'm a white supremacist and I get rid of all the Latinos and whatever, right? Now, and the blacks and whatever. Okay, now who's gonna take over the industries and or the production that they were doing that you wasn't doing? That's because you was controlling this shit. You was the one you was the owner who had the team, who had the coaches. You was at the top of the food chain, making all them work to get you money. So now who you gonna make work to get the money?
They do it on their own. That's what
you got smart go places,
they
right?
procreate for.
But who? Huh?
That's why they procreate.
So you saying they gonna have kids and make them do the jobs that they thought niggas should do?
I don't think that anyone is in the government saying we're gonna eliminate all niggas and then we're gonna create another race to take over those jobs. I don't think that's a thing.
No, I'm saying that if you replace one, I'm not saying we got creative. I'm saying where they'll come from.
What I'm saying is, I think it's a thing for big pharma. Is money in the vaccine? It's more money in the vaccine than it is in a different cure that's cheaper. So big pharma, big business is going to get together, and they're pushing the vaccine because they're getting paid off the vaccine. They're getting paid off of a bill.
That's the system.
It's more money in that opposed to having someone who was anti-vax. Because they told you a couple months ago the amount of people that they thought were going to get vaxxed, they didn't get vaxxed. Some people chose not to take the vaccine. It was a big of a push, especially with classism in certain communities with certain races where white people could go try to get the vaccine and they didn't fit a demographic, so they couldn't get it first. It fit certain demographics and it was targeted to black and brown people first.
You just said there's more money in the vaccine, right?
Yeah. That's big. That's been big pharma forever. It's more money. It's more money in treating the disease than getting rid of the disease. Because I can come up with something to get rid of a disease, and I'll have a person that'll buy meds once. But if I come up with something that's just going to maintain that person's life while on this medication, they're on this medication forever. They're on this medication for years.
So your position is that they could cure it or eliminate it with a cheaper drug, but they want to make money off of it. So they push the vaccinated people, or they push a different form that they can control.
It's more money in the vaccine. That's all I'm saying.
All right, cool. Now, if that's the case, then I'm trying to understand. Your issue is not with the vaccine. Your issue is with Big Pharma and them and the WHO and the CDC not letting us cure the vaccine, right?
I don't have an issue with anything. We're not talking about me having an issue about anything.
No, okay, hold.
I don't have an issue. If you want to get vaccinated,
so everything's cool.
If you're asking me my personal opinion, if you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't. Do your own research. My personal opinion is do your own research, and if it works for you, it works for you. I personally don't have an issue with anything. I was simply stating what could be an issue and why you would want to silence someone who has that big of a platform if they're pushing, hey, do your research. This is why I didn't take the vax. You'll have some people that listen to Joe Rogan simply because he didn't take the vax. He caught COVID. He got over COVID. He helped people like Aaron Rodgers and other people who are anti-vax get over COVID. So some people look at him and say he pushes an anti-vax position. Now, I feel like if Joe Rogan pushed the pro-vax, if Joe Rogan had a segment of his show, every show where he was saying, go get vaccinated, this wouldn't even be a thing, bro. Nobody would be trying to pull their programming off Spotify, and we wouldn't know he said nigga 20 times 15 years ago.
But and that's what I'm saying. That's what does it for me, is that to me I'm like, once it comes out,
it would have never came out because what's the first thing that came out?
No. But we're not talking about what didn't happen.
No. We're talking about what is the first thing that came out. It does matter. It matters at this point. It matters.
Why?
At this point.
So you saying because I didn't know it first, I don't care now?
No, I didn't say that. It's up to you to know it. So
I'm asking you.
If you listen to Joe Rogan and you're offended by what he says, then you have I'm not mad at anybody for being offended. All I'm stating is, why do we know about this?
Does that matter? Why do I know Ted Bundy killed? No, hold on. Why do I know Ted Bundy killed 12 people? I wasn't there
because Ted Bundy got put in jail for killing 12 people.
Somebody found out,
12
right?
people, and they found out he killed 12 people, and they put him in jail. And the reasoning why, and the reasoning, no, and the reasoning why they found out he killed 12 people because there was suspicion that he killed 12 people.
Okay,
we don't, bro. If Joe Rogan had a pro-vaccination platform, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
I understand that. I'm not even trying to debate that. What I'm asking you is, so, and this is what I'm saying. You're saying that because we found out this information under nefarious means, then the information no longer.
I don't think it's nefarious, and I never said that. I started the whole.
So how important?
I'm telling you
how important is the information.
And I don't know how many times I can say this. I started the conversation out saying, if you are offended by Joe Rogan saying the word nigga, you're 100%. Hey, you can be. I don't have an issue with it. You should be. If you want to cancel them for that, that's fine.
It's not about canceling them, bro.
You're not even letting me finish. Yes, it is.
Okay, go
because
ahead.
We're saying we should be offended because we found out he said he did this nefarious act by saying the N-word, and that's fine. And I agree totally with that. I'm not disagreeing with your position about that at all.
Then what I'm saying is this. I'm saying, like, bro, we hold, like, the whole thing with Neil Young. This is why
I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
No. This is why I be tripping with us, not us, me and you, but us, our people. Sometimes we watch other people use their platforms in whether it be racial, religious, however you want to say it. Like, the whole reason he on his note, like, man, if this person does this thing, then it's not that I'm mad at that person necessarily. It's just like, I can't do business. People do business with him. So take my music off there. That ain't got nothing to do with Joe Rogan. That's Neil Young saying, this is what I stand on, and this is how I'm gonna influence the situation with my influence.
Neil Young,
I ain't gotta work with you.
Neil Young wanted his music taken off because of misinformation for the COVID vaccine.
Yeah, that was his.
And he has that right to. If he feels that strongly about it,
that. But when he said,
and that's fine. He don't have to agree with it. That's cool.
Listen, and what I'm saying, but look what he did though. He said, because I don't agree with you, I can't do business with people who allow you to do that. So what I'm saying is, we can't do that. We be tripping off for, oh man, he be messing with so and so. So I ain't, or like, oh, you, like, we, and I'm not saying that's the norm, that's everybody.
But we do that though. Like,
where
in a very small situation, if you don't fuck with somebody because they do bad business, I'm not gonna do business with them. I don't fuck with them. And if someone say, man, hey, why you don't mess with Johnny? I don't fool with Johnny because Johnny does bad business. And my business.
You don't know why Johnny.
But that's crazy.
I know Johnny.
That's
I know Johnny does.
Ridiculous.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know Johnny does bad business because my business partner over here, Young James Boogie, did some business with him, and it was bad business. So I'm.
But that's not necessarily. That
was just me and him.
That doesn't mean that, because the thing is,
okay.
But James may have an issue with that person in particular and may just feel that way. But if you have you might have a completely different encounter with him if you work with him. You got to realize personalities are different. So his personality may just not mesh with the other person's personality, and they just can't work together. But you might work completely perfect with him. Y'all might not have no issues at all.
But look,
so it's different.
If James Boogie tell me Johnny do bad business, and then I rock with James Boogie. So if James Boogie say he do bad business, he do bad business. But then I do a little bit of research. I find out, I talk to a couple of people, and they saying the same thing. Maybe it's slightly different. They may have had slightly different encounters with him, but the median encounter is, well, Johnny do bad business sometimes. Most of the time,
okay. Well,
Johnny
yeah.
doing
If
bad
you
business.
did research, then I understand.
So in Neil Young's case,
yeah,
Neil Young says, man, your platform too big for you to be misinformation. Because I'm a vaccine guy. You might be an anti-vax guy. You know, hey, Spotify, pull my music off if y'all gonna do business with them. Now, for Spotify, Joe Rogan brings X amount of listeners per day. So that ain't bad business for Spotify. Because Joe Rogan is bringing Spotify more listeners than Neil Young. And so then India Ari says, I'm hearing what you're saying, but then India Ari says, well, I'm offended. Not only is he misinformation vaccine, well, he said nigga 15 times, 20 times.
Yeah,
so pull my music too. And I'm cool with that. And I'm fine with that. It's cool.
I'm saying I ain't know. I'm saying what I'm saying is, and I'm not saying that.
And there are some black people who didn't know. Man, I got hit by. I didn't know. This is what I'm saying. Somebody hit me and was like, "Hey, man, don't listen to that Fear Factor pod. They new Fear Factor podcast. Don't listen to it." I'm like, "What you talking about?" Yeah, man. They do. Joe Rogan do Fear Factor. He got a new podcast on Spotify. Don't listen to it because he say nigga.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you do realize Joe Rogan has had a podcast for 15 plus years. He's actually one of the pioneers in podcasting. Matter of fact, Joe Rogan hasn't said. Matter. No, listen to what I'm saying. Joe Rogan. Listen to what I'm saying. Joe Rogan hasn't said anything that what's the little shock jock dude, man? I don't know why I want to call him
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern, bro. He ain't said shit. Howard Stern ain't said.
That don't matter. Right. Like that's what I'm saying. And I'm not trying to be.
So let me ask you a question. Do we have the same energy for Howard Stern? I'm just asking.
Let me ask you. That's what I'm saying.
So my other question is, are we going to go back and now are we going to dig into all of them? Are we going to dig into Rogan, Andrew Schultz, name whatever non-black comedian that's out there? Are we going to go back?
Why not
dig into them, see if they said nigga, and do the same thing to them?
Why not?
I'm asking.
I'm asking you why not?
No, I'm not asking. Don't ask me why not. I'm asking you, is that something we're going to do?
We can. That's the good.
Is that something you think we should?
That's a good idea.
So should we do that?
That's a very good idea.
That's wasted energy. Like, why?
Because look, because it's Black History Month, one.
And Black History Month shouldn't even be a thing. I'm not going to champion Black History Month.
Okay, well,
it really shouldn't. I'm not saying, and that's not a negative saying we shouldn't celebrate black people, but we should, bro. They gave us the shortest month of the year, and we champion that shit, bro. 365 days should be Black History Month because American history is Black history. It shouldn't be relegated,
But you can't say that. You can't say that and then turn around and be like, man, it's okay.
I never said it was okay. I never said anything was okay.
Whatever you say, if you say that about Black History Year, then whatever you say about Joe Rogan, that nigga shouldn't be saying nigga, and he shouldn't be getting money
JB,
from
I don't
saying
understand
nigga.
What you're saying from get go.
How he getting money from saying nigga? That's what's happening. However you slice it, he made money from saying nigga, and we should be like, nah, bro,
All right.
I'm not tripping.
I didn't say he was tripping. I do think that you're missing the point that was made. The point never was Joe Rogan should be allowed to say nigga and make money off of us for saying nigga.
But he already did.
You're right, bro.
He already did.
So I don't know. So are we gonna impeach Joe Biden? He making money off saying nigga. He made money off saying nigga.
He should be gone too. I'm not saving energy for Joe Rogan. I'm not saving energy. I'm not saying anybody. What I'm saying is that if we're gonna be pro-black or pro-African American or pro-equality, when somebody sits out of line, the answer, in my opinion, can't be, well, that was a long time ago. Because then white folks can be like, slavery? Oh, that was a long time ago. Man, we've been slavery over, man. Ain't no more slavery, man. Y'all talking about that old stuff, man.
I don't think anybody said that. And I think you missed what was being said. But
that's what I'm saying.
You really missed the whole point that was made.
I did not, sir. I'm saying
what did I say? What
you're
was
saying
my point
that
I made?
The point you're making is saying that if you don't want to listen to him, you ain't got to. He did that a while ago. Only reason she know about it is because of this other stuff. And I agree with you that the only reason they know about it is because of this other stuff. But just because now we find out just now, like we find out something about all that happens all the time, bro. If you did something foul, man, we can't just forgive and forget, man, because they ain't forgot nothing for us. So why are we giving them the pass, man?
All right.
Why can't we be? I mean, when you said should we go back and get everybody? Why not? They do it to us. What happened to Bill Cosby? What happened to Michael Jackson? What happened to they go back? Oh, this day 10 years ago when so and so. Oh, R. Kelly. Even though he did it, I'm saying they do it for us. He guilty, just like he guilty.
Time out. Pedophiles, rapists, and saying the word nigga. That's different.
That's all the same, bro.
It ain't all the same at all.
No.
It's extremely different.
I can't agree with that.
It ain't all the
I can't
same.
agree that it's the same.
It's all the same.
It ain't all the same. That's wild. That's wild if you saying being a pedophile and saying the word nigga being non-black is all the same. That's a wild take.
How many people? How many people were killed because of the word nigga? Just because how many people were killed for that word? I'm talking about. Oh, he's a nigga, kill him. Oh, he a nigga, don't feed him. Oh, he a nigga. So what I'm saying is, it's entire.
If that's the case, then no one should say the word.
But this is what I'm saying, and I agree with you, sir. But what I'm saying is, and this is the thing I'm keep saying, if you're gonna put the blanket on something, thinking that if it's, I'm not saying it's okay, but you're saying, oh well, everybody. If that's the case with everybody, but no, the case is that a non-black person made money from something that black people die from, and if a black person says I got a problem with that,
I think that's a
what
stretch.
you mean? If a black person says I got a problem with that, I don't want to do business. People do business with him, no matter when they found out. It's all gravy. That should be, man. I appreciate
I didn't say
you,
it
man.
was, bro. I don't have an issue with India.Arie. I started the conversation with that. I don't have an issue with it.
And I'm also saying that that should be a bigger issue than
the nigga should be, him saying nigga should be a bigger issue than misinformation from the vaccine.
If it's for his listeners, 100%. For the people who because like let's say he went 15 years. He ain't had all this. This is 15 years. You have people that just listen this year or last year.
Oh, do you know his fan base? I'm pretty sure 90% of his fan base are white and say nigga anyway. So,
I mean,
and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's his that's his listenership.
But the more you're talking, the more you're making him sound like he racist, bro.
He probably is.
So now I'm saying, why am I giving a racist any leeway?
I'm not. I'm not giving.
You just said it 5-6 times, man. That was a long time ago.
That ain't what I said. That's what I'm saying. You taking what you're not listening to what I'm saying. Well, because and simply because sometimes you don't debate for a middle ground or a solution. You debate to debate.
No, bro, I'm debating for the fact.
Because you didn't hear what I said.
I'm very definite. What I'm saying.
100% agree with your feelings about the N-word and him saying it. I told you I agree with you.
Did you agree to the point where you started listening to Joe Rogan?
I told you I agree with you. I have not listened to Joe Rogan since the nigga shit came out. See, if you shut the fuck up and let me answer. Shit, god damn. Bro, you really debate to debate. You know what? Like you and I don't think I'm not changing. No,
bro.
No.
You never said that.
I never said what.
We're talking about Joe Rogan. Don't change the subject, man.
Nah, nigga. First off, you don't tell me what I can and can't talk about. And what I'm saying is,
why you want to argue, man?
Because I'm not arguing, bro. I'm trying to get off the argument. What I'm saying is, sometimes you don't. The conversation should lead to a middle ground and a solution. And sometimes with you, it can't be a middle ground and a solution because you ain't looking for that. You're looking for the next piece of the debate. I agree with you. I agree with every point.
That's not true at all, bro. That's not true at all because you danced around it 10 times, bro.
I didn't dance around anything, bro. I agree with everything you said.
All right,
look, I said I agree with you. My words
were. We record this, man.
Ma'am, did I not tell him how many times have I told him I agree with every word he said? I say I agree with every word you said.
But that's what I'm saying. You're painting the picture as if I'm trying to debate, but you're throwing darts out there. Well, should we go back and you asking
I
questions?
asked a legit question. I said, should we go back?
And I said, yeah.
And then
why not?
and then I said, cool.
You
I
told
said,
me
I agree.
You think I'm debating? I'm agreeing with what you're saying, and you say I'm trying to change the narrative.
I didn't say anything about you changing the narrative. No, at no time did I say you're trying to change the narrative.
Back to the Joe Rogan, man.
I didn't try to change the narrative. What are you talking about? I didn't say you changed the narrative. What are you talking about?
Back to Joe Rogan, man.
When did I say you changed the narrative?
I feel like he sucked, man.
When did I say you changed the narrative? When? Tell me when.
I'm trying to move back that, bro.
No. Don't throw it out there and then try to change the subject like you always do.
No.
When did I narrative change for you, sir? When did I try to change your narrative?
Bro.
Just tell me when. And that way I can correct it.
We've been talking for. I'm not trying to end the show or anything. You know it's getting late, but all I'm saying is this: at the beginning of the conversation and the end, I ain't never changed nothing I said. My position never changed. Not because I'm stouting it, because like I said, I got to the point where I said, "Man, you sound like he a racist," and you say he probably is.
I said he probably is.
Yeah. So if we think he probably is a racist. The whole premise of I don't like how he got caught up with this stuff, man. I don't give a damn how he got caught. He a racist, man. He's supposed to get caught. That's his chickens coming home to roost. Just because it's under this circumstance, yeah, cancel him, man. Because I'm not. That's what I'm at. When you think I'm saying that, I'm like, if we have agreed to this point, then yeah, we should cancel him and everybody like him.
I just feel like now. I'm saying just look at it on a different angle because, like I said, maybe he may not be racist. I'm just listen to me. He may not be racist. It's just the fact that, like I said, he done hung around people where he's comfortable with saying it. Maybe he actually have black friends that he say that shit around all the time, and he just comfortable with saying it. So, I mean, it could be either way. I'm just saying, like, you don't always want to look at things at one and in one particular aspect. And feel like, okay, well, yeah, he might be racist. Well, he might be. Or maybe he have black friends that he just comfortable with saying it around and he done let it slip too many times when it's not appropriate. It can work anyway.
I don't know. I'm looking at it from different perspectives. At the end of the day, that's wild. That's very wild.
So, I know people that me and you have done business with. You still do business with them. Oh, they're white, and they said nigga before.
I do business.
Do you view them differently?
Yeah.
You sure?
I always have. Yeah. What I'm saying is, wow. So you think?
But y'all still do business with him, and he's actually not only done good business with all of us. He's actually helped some of us out of a pinch. He's helped some of us out of fucked up situations before.
Okay.
He just happened to use he happened to let nigga fly a couple of times.
I agree with you, but bro, what I'm saying is you talking about a couple times, and I'm saying like, bro, this is over years and years and years, and he ain't like if you watch the clip, Miss Anae. It's like he got bits where he's sitting at a table, he talking, you know, he got here to be a podcaster. He nigga, you know what I'm saying? He know what he doing, bro. It ain't like he's saying it'd be different if he was like, you know, and then the nigga, he's like looking around, pausing, nigga, doing like you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like, so he understands what he's doing. And I agree with you. My point the whole way is saying I agree with that. The circumstance how it came out is kind of fishy, but just like a pedophile, just like anything else, I don't erase the fact. I'm not trying to say they're equal in their terror or their. Some people might say they are, but I'm not saying that. I'm not comparing which is the worst. I'm saying it's the same. If you get caught doing something that's out of line foul, man, I'm on you, bro.
If it seems like it's intentional, then yeah, I would feel definitely some type of way.
You gotta see the video. I'll send it to you because and it's not just one time. It's not like it's just like one time where he's like, man, them niggas. Nah, they having jokes and he nigga, ha 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 ha. You know what I'm saying? That's the punchline, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like maybe
I agree. I agree with the outrage. We should be outraged by it. I agree with it. I've never disagreed with it.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do.
You don't think I agree with it? Why you don't think I agree with it?
I don't think you do have a problem with. I'm saying I don't think you do.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
My whole reasoning for bringing up why now and the climate of how it happened is it's to paint, it's to show a bigger issue. Like, if you don't go with certain agendas or whatever, then they want to silence you. We have a platform, bro. If let's say we blew up next month, and we have the largest platform, bro. Somebody can listen to the last 120 episodes and come back and retroactively try to counsel us for misinformation, racial slurs, gay slurs, all that shit, because we didn't said it and did it. So,
well, more you than me. Make sure we get that out the way now.
But what does that make you? Does that make you better or worse? Because you co-signing it. If you saying more me than you.
Because every time I tell you, hey man, that's racist, man. You
bro, you started like your whole stick for at least 20 pods was, or how you say the shit was, man, niggas is dumb. That was your whole shit for like 20 pods. Because
I felt at one point, you know, saying that niggas was dumb, but I matured and grew. And if you're gonna say that, like you telling me, if you're gonna say that, I also had a whole 2-3 months where I'm not cussing them. I'm not saying nigga. I'm not cussing them on.
That's great, bro. But
what you tell me?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm toxic. I don't know, nigga. I'm toxic. But you can't escape like the bigger picture, and that's all I'm saying. Like, we all, honestly, if you want to keep it a buck, we all have shit in our closet that if it came out, it can fuck us up.
I agree.
Everybody do. Okay. So I'm not saying homie is right for saying what he said. If the man said all that shit, he did all of that, he needs to apologize, atone for it. They pulled 70 episodes of his podcast off of Spotify for it. Whatever. But what happens next? And that's why I asked, are we gonna go back? If it's truly about what he said, are we gonna go back and do this to everyone who's done it? We got a sitting president who did it. I'm pretty sure we got sitting senators, other people who are working certain agendas. Hell, didn't Chappelle let somebody call him a nigga on like on TV? A white man?
I don't think so.
No. It was. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was Chappelle, but there was a black comedian who allowed a white comedian to call him nigga, and he laughed about it. He was like, "Man, it's just a word. We use it all the time." Was it Chris Rock? It was one of them. It was one of them, bro.
I hope not.
No, it really was. It was one of them. I'm gonna go do the research. It was one of them, bro. It was a big deal because D.L. Hughley was pissed off about it.
I hope not, man. That'd be horrible.
I just think.
Some people think it's just a word. Some people don't care about it at all.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and I think at the end of the day, really,
because then we open up windows. How long have we side-eyed Fat Joe? Like, can Fat Joe really say nigga? See what I'm saying? Like, it's colorism. It's colorism in the Atlantic community. If you really look at it, they feel like they're higher tier citizens than we are. They call us nigga in a negative light. It ain't all we all in the same struggle, homeboy shit. When they was lynching us, they wasn't getting lynched.
That's not a good one.
What you mean it's not a good one?
I'm not talking about the background.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's not because my gray hairs blend in with so you know.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I mean, I agree, bro.
Also, and I wish we as a people could be unified with this. Like, I wish we could have came out and said, hey, we all finna pull our music off Spotify because it's that offensive.
I wish the same thing, bro.
But I think there are reasons why, and I'm not picking on India Arie, so I'm not going to just say it's her, because these things happen in other industries as well. I think there are reasons why, sometimes people choose a side and try to expose somebody. Like the guy who just put the doc out about Bill Cosby, I think he admitted that a lot of the stuff in the doc, they can't even prove if it was true or not. So
Changing devices.
yeah, so
Yeah,
he
I'm good.
put a whole doc out about Bill Cosby kind of slandering his name, and bro, half that shit can't even be verified as true. Oprah was finna do the same thing with Russell Simmons. Russell just had the power to silence that shit. So it's agendas and all of this stuff was going on during the agenda, bro. In the middle of that Me Too shit, Oprah was trying to throw Russell Simmons under the bus, bro.
How come we don't like push our kids to be punters? That's the easiest job on the football field. Just kick the shit out the ball.
I played football in 8th grade. And
Here come the 5th grade. Here come your 5th grade story. Keep going.
no, I said in 8th grade,
8th
but
grade.
our punter was a girl, a Hispanic girl.
Yeah, but that's the easiest part of football. Like that's an easy million right there. If you just dedicate yourself for 5 years, 6 years maybe.
No, it's not. It's not the easiest thing to do.
What's harder than punting the ball?
It's just it's not the easiest thing to do.
What's the easiest job on a football field? I'm gonna help me. I'm just asking. I don't want to debate. I just want to ask your opinion.
It might be easiest because you don't play every down, but once you play, a kicker has so much on their shoulders, especially if you're a field goal kicker.
To the punter,
you have to put the defense in the correct situation. You have to directional punt from time to time. You have people rushing at you. You have to get the punt off in a certain amount of seconds. It's not the easiest thing to do.
Once again, this is what we do. I ask a question, and you don't answer it. I asked you what is the easiest one, and you tell me how hard the punter was.
I don't think that there is an answer to say what is the easiest position on the football field. There's no answer.
Well, my position, my opinion.
Well, yours will be the bench because that's where you sat. So sitting on the bench is the easiest
Are you
position.
attacking me all the time?
Or if you make it to the NFL, I think maybe practice squad is the easiest position because you're getting paid to practice.
But so the practice punter is the easiest position on the field?
There is no such thing as a practice punter.
You don't have no backup punter?
It's usually the place kicker.
You're trying to convince us. I think we had this talk before. I think we have. And you're trying to the
What's the easiest position to play? What's the easiest position? What's the easiest position to play on a basketball team?
There is none.
All right, thank you.
Because everybody has to do the same thing. Nobody, you can't, I can't just come out here and just shoot.
Everybody doesn't do what LeBron James does. There's some people who don't shoot. PJ Tucker just plays defense.
He shoots the ball too.
Does he?
Yes, he's paid to shoot the ball.
How many times does PJ Tucker shoot the ball or Trevor Ariza?
Maybe 5-6 times.
Why are they on the court? Why is PJ Tucker on the floor?
To shoot the ball when everybody else is
No. Why is PJ Tucker on the court?
For defense.
All right then.
But he shoots the ball too.
PJ Tucker doesn't do what LeBron James does.
Because he's not as good. That's why.
PJ Tucker doesn't do what a point guard does.
He's not a point guard.
I know. What is he?
He's a small forward, 4-5.
And their functions are different. So everyone doesn't do the same thing on the court.
Yes. No. Everybody has to dribble the ball. Everybody got to shoot the ball. Everybody got to play defense. Everybody
does the same thing in football. We all run up and down the field. We all have to tackle. Sometimes we all have to be required to catch. We all do the same thing.
So everybody throws the ball in football? Everybody throws the ball?
You can.
No, I said, does everybody throw the ball?
You can.
See how you change the narratives, how the goalpost moves?
I didn't move a goalpost. I didn't change the narrative. I just said you
everybody in the foot. No,
why do we always have to argue about everything? How come we can't have different opinions? How come real talk? How come we can't just have a different
everybody
opinion?
on a football field throws the ball?
You asked me. You asked me.
Does everybody on the football field?
You asked me the original.
Why you don't throw the ball, man? You trying to create some kind of crazy narrative.
I'm not doing this, bro. We are too grown to be doing this bullshit. The original question you asked was, "What is the easiest position to play on the field?" And I said there is no easy position. There's no position that's easier than the other. All positions have their own weight of pressure that it holds and carries.
Man, get out of here! I'm gonna be a punter. I just got to kick the ball. That's all I got to do, punt the ball. That's it. I have one responsibility. Punt the ball wherever I want to punt it. Whether it's long or short, I got one responsibility. I ain't got to block nobody.
Even the act of punting is not an easy thing to do. Have you punted a football? Have you punted a football?
It's a punting football, bro.
Was it easy or hard? Were you successful? Do you think you
It
could have
was
been
the
an NFL
easiest thing I
punter?
done. It was the easiest thing I done on the field.
What
It
else
was
have
easy
you
to
done
run
on
the
the
ball.
field?
It was easy than throwing. It's easier than tackling them. It's easier than catching.
You're right. You're
I'd
right.
rather just punt the ball every day,
You're right.
4 times a game, than have to catch the ball 100 times a game, or 5 times a game, or 10 times a game.
You're right.
Come on, man. You be just making. You don't want to argue, man. You'll say anything. I'm not trying to say football is weak, man. I'm just saying that punters get easy money, man. We need to tackle that. The one black punter I know is cold as heck, man. Played for the Raiders. He was a beast. Football. Everybody throws the ball. That boy crazy.
I didn't say everybody throws the ball, for the record.
I asked you. You said, yeah, they can.
Man, JB, bro, I'm not doing this tonight, bro. I'm not answering these idiotic ass questions that you try to pull up in these bullshit ass arguments you try to make, bro.
I got a question for you, brother.
Yeah.
Are you trying? Would you say that you're what would you describe your demeanor as?
Are we going down the road of you trying to slander my character like you normally try to do?
Ask you a question, bro. See what I'm saying? I just asked you a question.
I have a very happy demeanor and disposition, sir.
What would you describe your demeanor as, Miss Ine? I'm looking, that's why I can't say it right, because I see the name and I'm like, don't say that.
I'm a very subtle and laid back, down to earth person.
That's how you've always been, or that's from now?
I used to be extremely aggressive. I used to be a wildflower.
Would you what was the catalyst that made you change?
I had children.
You know, having children, I think, I'm just watching younger people raise their children. It's unique to see, because it's like you can see some parents had their kids too young, not because it's a judgment, but you can the patience that you have at a certain age for certain people. This is not for to have kids. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's not meant to be a parent.
Yeah, true, that too. And so you can look at sometimes and you like some of the actions or reactions they make are fueled in their the inexperience. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how do you relate a message, to somebody that, hey, I know it's difficult for you right now, but if you do these things, then these are the more likely probable outcomes for the child and for you too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a burden that parents bear when they get older, and they're like, damn, I could have did way better. You know what I'm saying? A lot of parents have that burden.
I think luckily for me, I have older ones that I have a very open line of communication with. So my oldest will be 25 this year, and then I have the 23-year-old, and then I have one that'll be 18 this year, and then I have the two little ones will be 6 and 7. So I moved different. I was very, very strict on the older 3, especially on the older 2. But my 25-year-old, she already owns a house. She has 4 degrees, and she got her stuff together. Now, boys are a little different. My son is not on that same path, and he out there slipping and bumping his head, and I gotta let him do it. And my 17-year-old, she's going through some things, and it's like I'm like right in the middle of trying to calm down and still be a little bit aggressive with her, because she has no idea what she's about to do with her life. But I'm a lot more calm and patient than I used to be. So I don't take everything so seriously. And that's not just with raising kids, it's just life in general. Like, everything is not a debate. Everything is not an argument. I mean, I like to have healthy debates, but that's because I've seen a lot from a lot of different angles. And I've heard a lot from different angles. And I sit back and I reevaluate situations and see how things can be different. I don't have a lot of female friends because I know a lot of females are trifling. And I don't like it. And I just don't want to get myself mixed up in some of that stuff. So
you're
you have
saying
to sit back.
separate yourself from a situation. You're saying you separate yourself from situations that you don't believe are beneficial to the way you feel. I was me making a Joe Rogan Spotify joke. Keep going. I was just joking. I'll keep going.
I just do a lot of evaluating. I do a lot of I recently got into a situation. I ain't gonna say I really got into a situation. I was asked to handle a situation that someone else decided to handle instead of taking the act of having me handled like it was instructed.
Yeah.
And I don't like drama. I don't like gossip. I feel like what you have going on is your business. If you want people to know, you'll tell them yourself. You know, so if I'm privy to any of your information, that's between us. You know, I'm not going to go out and speak your business because clearly if you wanted everybody to know, you tell them yourself.
Yeah.
But it's too many people that are not like that. They feel like the world needs to know. You want people to feel sorry for you and treat you a certain type of way. Nah, fuck that. And another thing, like I don't feel sorry for a lot of people. And I think that's one of my biggest things. A lot of people say I'm insensitive, but I just feel like you need to be held accountable for your own shit. And I don't feel sorry because you're not. I mean, you're in the situation you're in because you chose to be in the situation you're in. Because anybody can change their own situation. Get off your ass and change it.
I mean, in some instances, yeah. I think there's two ways to look at that. Like, we can, have a blanket, a general way of thinking about things, but also in that same way, understand that there are situations like every person's experience was unique, and some people aren't mentally or physically able to just get up sometimes, and move. Like, it's all kind of trauma that we deal with as human beings, and then you start sub genre in those, that human being, black, woman, gay, single, chemical dependent, born. It's all kind of different things, abuse, all these different things have permanent effects on people's psyche. So I agree.
How many siblings do you have?
I have one. Maybe you can say two.
Dub, how many siblings do you have?
I got two.
Okay. Y'all grew up in the same house? Same parents?
One,
yeah,
yes.
One. The other one I don't really speak to.
Okay. I'm the oldest in the same house, in one house, 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say we all grew up the same. And I'm talking about same mom and dad. I had a bonus dad that raised me. Mm-hmm. And I seen things that I didn't like. I seen things that I liked. And I took away what I needed to take away in order for me to be successful in my life. Like I grew up in Fifth Ward in Northwood Manor. But what I didn't like, I don't want to be in the hood. I don't want to raise my kids in the hood. Like, so when I got to that age, my kids started off in, my oldest two in Sheldon District, which is a really good district for them. And then I took them all the way to A-Leaf. I let them spend about five years or so in A-Leaf. Mm-hmm. And they've always been around a nice, decent, mixed crowd. Mm-hmm. But then when I got married, they end up on the north side, and it was like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for them. I watched my son do some ghetto shit, and I was like, where the hell you get that shit from?
Well, I think you're speaking on your foresight. You had a vision and a plan, and you had the ability mentally, for whatever reasons, whether it been your internal fortitude or you had, like you say, you had a bonus dad. But some people don't have those things. You know what I mean? and I'm not making an excuse for anybody. I'm just saying that and not even making commentary on about the way you said. Not saying that you're insensitive, but I think that's the tough part. That's the tough part about trying to understand people, because people have different motivations, whether it be just a personality thing or whether it be they have a goal, they're goal driven, whether they're upset about not reaching their goals, whether there's so many different reasons why people are motivated to be certain ways. And so I come all the way back to Dub as, Dub, why do I frustrate you so much, man? Like I keep trying to tell you, like, when I'm laughing, I'm not giggling at you, bro. I'm really like, I can't believe you. I'm like, that at all times we can just stop and just talk. Like, even if we're disagreeing, we ain't got to get to the point where we upset or like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's like, I don't know how you getting that mad, bro. Like, how are you getting that upset, man? Like, we ain't gotta do it like that.
You said all of that to ask me that question?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I went a long way, man. It's a great party, bro. You're welcome. That's gonna be the one to get a Spotify deal.
What? I get upset with you from time to time simply because I know that 90% of the stuff that you be saying is you trying to pick an argument.
That's not true,
No, because listen, hear me out.
That's not true, man.
Well,
that's not true.
If you're gonna ask me a question, then interrupt my answer, then why did you even ask?
Well, because I'm not trying to interrupt you, but you can't tell me that I'm doing something falsely, and I'm like, no, that's not true. Well, I'm not saying, I'm not like, we've sat here for.
He's telling you how he feels.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm telling you that
but what he's saying is, so he asked me a question, and one part of it is me and him have been doing this for so long, we can have the worst argument and then it's over with in an hour or two. But he also will ask you a question. He already has a predetermined answer. So when your answer is not what he wants it to be, he's gonna have rebuttal for it, and he won't let you finish the statement. So
I'm sorry. I just want to hear you. I just want to hear the answer, sir. I apologize.
I don't think it doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter. Like, no matter what my answer is, it doesn't matter.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
But why? If I know it doesn't matter, if it's not going to change anything, why even waste the commentary to even talk about it? Like I get upset because I know you. A lot of times this is what you do. Like, you pick and you prod at things, and then you'll switch it from one thing to the next, and then we'll find ourselves on a whole nother topic, far from the topic that we first started talking about. And the other piece is, like, you know me personally, so you already know where I stand on 90% of this stuff before you ask me.
So once again, I'm asking you, if we're having conversations and I'm picking a perspective to speak from. All right, so prime example,
like the other night when we were speaking about, the other night when we were speaking about just the situation with drug dealers and things like that in the hood, and you were like, well, drug dealers need to put brick and mortar buildings up.
Yeah.
All right. So I was trying to make an example of why we don't need brick and mortar buildings to do good. I wasn't trying to say that the drug dealers should get a pass. I brought up the organization because it's an organization that is doing great things without a brick and mortar building. So we can have things like that, a movement to get behind. I wasn't trying to give the drug dealer a pass. And your rebuttal was, what drug dealer are you afraid of? That was your rebuttal. No. That is exactly what you said. You told me. No. See, that's what I'm saying. You won't even let me finish my statement, bro.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Because when I brought that up, you said, what Heads Up Houston got to do with this? What drug dealer you scared of? Why you trying to get a drug dealer to pass X, Y, and Z? And bro, that's not even me. And then I get upset because in my mind I think about the stuff like timeout. I'm not even a drug guy. Like, we've had conversations before where you talked about how these laws are too strict for drug dealers and people who have nonviolent drug crimes and all of that shit. And so then you fast forward and you're taking something totally different. Yeah, and then no. And then you come across and you say stuff like that A, is furthest from the truth, and B, has nothing to do or no bearing on what we're speaking of. And then you make a big fuss about it. You say, oh man, that's BS. No, I call bullshit. All of this stuff. Even with the Joe Rogan thing tonight, the initial conversation that we started talking about, you veered from that to try to pull a narrative to say I was giving Joe Rogan the pass for saying nigga. And that's not what I was saying. My rebuttal was trying to say, let's look at the even bigger picture. Why are they trying to silence this person? And the even bigger picture where they're trying to silence more people who are just against the agenda. I'm not saying that your take was wrong about it. I'm just asking, hey, why now? And that morphed into, I'm trying to give someone the pass for calling black people the N-word. And that's what I get upset about.
Well, okay, so to analyze that or to break that down from
it
Mr.
shouldn't
Nate
be an analyzation or a breakdown. It should be, we talked about our differences, bet, and we move forward. Everything ain't an analyzation or breakdown or rebuttal of, especially when you ask someone why they feel or why they do X, Y, and Z.
You know what I'm saying? I'm asking the question like I was saying in first. If you feel I was asking the question. I'm like, okay, once we find out when something happens, whether it be he said nigga or he did whatever, when we find out, how do we feel about it, right? And that's why I asked you, what do you think about this? I'm not trying to. I'm asking you. I'm trying to understand your point of view. I'm letting you. And then when I get to the point, I'm like, I literally said, he sound like he racist, and you said he probably is. So now it takes you back to the very beginning when I was saying, I was like, man, look.
But when I said that about John, when I said that about John Gruden, what was your rebuttal?
I don't know what I say.
Yeah, you actually made fun and you actually took what he said about another black man, made a joke about it, and your words were, "Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Have you seen his lips?"
Yeah, because I'm saying,
but the basis of that was a white man who was making jokes about a black man, regardless if it was via email or not, regardless if he didn't like the dude or not. He was making he was making racist jokes about a black man.
He said, "Got big lips." That's racist.
Come on, bro.
That's what I said. That's why I said, "Do you
come on, bro? Come on,
bro."
The
dude has lips. It has big lips. You know what I'm saying? And the dude said, I can't. However, he said he didn't say that black motherfucker got big lips. He didn't say no niggas, none of that. He just said the dude got big lips, and everybody of course.
And so but you was cool with that, and you was caping for that.
No, I was saying that. All I was saying is that the that's a shakier basis to stand on. While I got an inference is shakier than, man, this nigga said nigga 15, 20 times. That's why I'm saying, like,
and we back
what
to
is
this,
the,
and I don't
what
want
is
to be,
the,
I don't want to be back on this because I didn't disagree with you.
I'm not saying you disagree or not. What I'm saying is what the conversation is morphing into, and why it's morphing is because if I come into a conversation thinking this way, and then we are exchanging ideas, and the viewpoint that I had because of the information I got changes, that I'm not going to inquire. Well, since you said this, I'm literally letting you help me form the opinion because I'm going by what you're saying. I'm not trying to say this is how I think. I'm like, well, I thought this a little bit, and now as we're talking and building, I'm like, well, damn, he did this thing racist, this thing racist, this racist. Like, I was asking you because she found out, just like JB found out last week. I feel like she's valid. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
I never said she wasn't. I never said she wasn't.
Saying why now? And I'm like, does it matter why now?
I never discredited her. I never said she was.
I feel like first of all, I just feel like it wouldn't necessarily be a why now. It's why now because I'm just not finding out now.
That's what I'm saying.
But I wasn't talking about India Irie though.
But that's what I'm saying. Didn't she just find out?
Yeah, and she just
found out. She's the only one that spoke on it that then said something about it. I mean, I don't know the whole, the story behind it, but my thing is, if I just noticed something, then I'm gonna speak on it right now because this is what I'm noticing. Just like I went back to look at this whole McDonald's thing that we talked about the last time, and I looked and I'm like, this is from 2019.
A couple years ago, yeah.
It's from 2019, but we just talked about it last week. My thing is, this is something that's old, but because it was just recently brought back to surface because what they just put it out or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I mean, now we're talking about it, and it's the same thing. You know, she just came across it. She just brought it up. She felt some type of way. So now she done brought it to the forefront.
Yeah.
So it's not like that. It's just the fact that it just came up because somebody just threw something out there.
And the cancel culture aspect of it, I think that Dub is speaking to, or that he was speaking to in the beginning. Is like, I understand that cancel culture has become like the out, or the way that people are trying to relate every situation to, but then in the same breath, it's like, what's the medium? Like what and that's what I'm asking somebody. Where I think that's where I think you're losing me at. I'm not trying to push you I'm just asking you, what is the medium? Like what is the baseline to like, okay, this thing you can do, this thing you can't do. What are the lines? Because if the lines are based on individuals, then it's going to be all over the place. And then he going to say, well, I got black friends. Or she going to say, well, I got Latin friends, so I can say spick. Or I got Africans, so I can call them Makatas, or whatever, however it go. But if the baseline is respect, that's just like okay, as long as you don't disrespect nobody, you can say whatever you want to. But these type of words over here, they disrespectful. So now we found out you be saying them words. You got to and you say he came out and apologized for it. He knew he was wrong too. So now I'm just going forward and building in the conversation and saying that if he came out and apologized for it, he knew it was wrong. Why is he apologizing? Because he knew it was wrong when he was doing it. Why is he apologizing? So that
he apologized because somebody took offense to it.
Exactly. So now it leads me to think. Now I can't defend him. I can't defend him on really nothing as far as freedom of speech. None of that, nothing he's trying to say about the virus, none of that kind of stuff. Because I know that his interest is not purely entertainment. It's not like he just trying to just inform us, because he knew this whole time that saying them words was not what was up. He knew that, because when he kind of brought the light, he apologized right away. So do I think he don't know what's going on with this virus either? Do I think he doesn't have any insight to what Fauci and them are mad about? I understand what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even really, like, I think you think I'm coming at you, but I'm just coming at the thinking pattern. I'm not coming at your, I'm just trying to make it match, make it make sense, because everything makes sense. Nothing is random, not at that level. Like, the government come for him, but okay, why? But then I see his history of things he done. I'm like, well, maybe they know something we don't know. If he can get on his show and say that word so many times, what about stuff he does behind the scenes?
But that's the same thing Deb was saying earlier.
What?
That's the exact same thing Deb was saying earlier. That
he been saying nigga the whole time behind the scenes.
It's something behind the reason why it's a big deal now.
What I'm saying is like this: if he can do this thing over here, right? He does this thing that he knows that his constituents don't like, or people that he says he wants to. He's friends with Dave Chappelle. He ain't never called Dave Chappelle no nigga. I'm 100% sure. So now, when you say, well, the government wants him silenced, why do they want him silenced? Because if we're under the impression that the government feels a certain way about people of color, why would they want to silence somebody who's obviously a racist?
Have y'all seen the show Games People Play?
I have not.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
Talk about it.
You should.
I'm glad you pointed that out, because he literally just made the point I was making earlier. But go ahead.
I think it's something that both of you guys should watch, because it has a lot. It really correlates to what we're talking about right now. They have this. It's basically, when you first start watching it, you're completely clueless to what's going on. Like, it's basically about a basketball player that something about his wife accidentally killed a chick he was cheating on, and so the whole first season is about, well, who actually killed this girl? And coming to find out, when you watch the second season, they have this. It's a group is called the Foundation, and the Foundation set up this nigga whole life. Like, when I say set up, because he was a pro basketball player and they wanted him to join their basketball team. They went and put him through some stuff like throughout his life to set him up to join this particular basketball team. So when I say they did some, it was ridiculous, but you should definitely watch it because it kind of, when you see it, once you see the second episode, you be like, dang, like, just like people holler about the Illuminati and all of the other different stuff, it make you think. It'll definitely make you think. Games people play.
I watched something last night at 3 in the morning, or 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. It was the creator of Breaking Bad, and the writer, I'm sorry, and they had a spin-off series called Saul something. It's
Better Call Saul.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah, he like the lawyer or something. I think Saul was a lawyer in Breaking Bad.
Yeah. And when he broke down the way that they wrote it and how they rewrote it in the spinoff to find the character, and like you said about people tinkering with people's situations to influence them, I very much understand there are thinkers out there. There are tinkerers and organizations that tinker. But that's another conversation, I think, because I think that there are organizations that tinker against tinkers. So, right? Gotta be, huh? I know somebody. You're the conspiracy theorist. Who has the most power?
I don't know.
Y'all, you can't say that one. That gets everybody off when you say that.
What?
I don't know. That's the code that. Man, if I say that,
when you say who has the most power, what do you mean?
I mean, like, amongst the organizations that move the world.
I think the person or the organization who has the most influence over people's emotions have the most power because they can sway people emotionally to do what they want them to do. I think that's why misinformation in the media and having media that is biased to one way is dangerous. Because we don't get just the facts and the truth down the middle. And with so many different outlets of news now, with influencers, YouTubers, Instagrammers, podcasters, it's so much information out there. You don't know what's real and what's fake. You just don't. To the point where even our elections are rigged. To no one is really telling the truth. People are going out here saying what they think someone wants to hear. Like the whole thing with Donald Trump was saying drain the swamp. Like, the swamp is a real thing that is used by big corporations to influence government lawmakers to pass laws in their favor. And wealthy people use the media to sway our decisions.
What would be your? Do you have any suggestions for solutions that would take some of the power away?
I have no clue outside of a one party government. That way, there's no left or no right. It's just the one party. Take away the two parties. Just have a one party government, and at that point, we're voting in who's best for the job.
A one party government?
Yeah, take away the parties. It shouldn't be a Democrat and Republicans. Just or add another party. But look, think about this. And I don't know. I'm dumb, so I might not know how this stuff works. But in theory, if I have a president who has 4 years in office, and this president establishes something, all right, we know once they establish it in year one, it'll probably be year 2.5, 3 before it really starts working. So you'll probably be seeing the fruits of whatever seed that was planted by year 4. If I have a new government or a new president or government party of power come in after year 4, if they spend 2 years reversing everything and then implementing their own plans, like, our progression is slowed down.
Changes.
Huh?
But that
Nothing really ever changes.
Nothing ever changes.
that's the effort though.
But and that's why it's good when you have like 2-term presidents, and then after the 2-term president, another president. It can't be good or bad. But let's say if you have a 2-term president, they had 8 years to implement these plans and get the economy rolling and get all this stuff moving in a positive direction. And then you have someone come in who was against all of that ideology for whatever reason, and they use their first 4 years to reverse it all. Like, we get nowhere. But if I'm building on that each term, we're progressing. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to always agree, but it has to be a middle ground. And, okay, I take pieces that work good, and I build on that, and then I find pieces that didn't work, and I try to find a solution to that and build on that.
I mean, that a one-party system wouldn't guarantee that you wouldn't have the different idealism coming every 4 years, though.
It doesn't change. Like, as long as you have people like me and you will have different ideas. But I think if you're president for 8 years and then I come in, I shouldn't use 4 years to reverse everything you did just because I have a different ideology of what you have. What I should do is come in and say, you know what, President Boogie, he was right when it came to equal rights. He built on that. He was right when it came to boosting employment, boosting the economy. I'm going to take those things that he took. I'm going to get advice, and I'm going to keep him rolling. I'm going to keep adding positive to him. I ain't going to change it. It ain't broke. But what he was wrong with was criminal justice. So I'll add a criminal justice reform piece, or I'll add I don't know, fixing roads and bridges throughout the country, type infrastructure. You know what I'm saying?
But how you gonna get somebody to come in? I mean, that's not a bad idea or anything, but that's no different from what happens now. I mean, the drastic change that happens, it's not like when FDR comes in and the next person comes in, like it's hell for the next 3 years, or when Donald Trump comes in for his 4 years, and then like we still have Obamacare through Donald Trump's whole presidency, right? Afterwards. So I'm saying like
Donald Trump spent a lot of his term. He came in, bro. Like he came in saying, "I'm gonna change this shit just because." He came in and he undid a lot of shit, right? So and then when you look at it, he undid a lot of stuff when it came to treaties with us, pulling us out of certain accords and all of that stuff, because he said it was a bad deal for us because we were spending more than we were getting out. All right, so he spent 4 years doing that, and then Biden comes in. And he puts us right back into these accords and these partnerships and all of this stuff that we were in 4 years before. All right. So if we're going to go right back in it, regardless if you feel like it's good or bad, if we're going to go right back in it, to me, that was a wasted 8 years, because we wasted 4 years undoing shit Barack Obama and the Dems did. And now I got 4 more years of the Dems and Biden reinstating things that were done before we can move on and progress.
I mean, the dilemma you're saying is true, but I'm just trying to understand how one party would eliminate that.
So when I say the one party system, I'm thinking, and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking if I have a one party system, it'll be less 2 different sides fighting. Because now I got people fighting because I'm a Republican, because I'm a Democrat, and I have such this big difference of ideology. If it's just a one-party system where we're all on the same kind of the ideology of progressing the American people and all of this stuff, hopefully we could get more done. There's some people...
eliminate the debate. Just eliminate the debate.
Exactly.
So how do we... So, okay. I'm just exploring this.
I don't know how to do that, because I'm not that smart. I'm not a politician. I didn't do any kind of politics studying. I don't know. I'm not that smart.
I'm saying if I have one party, right, that means I just have one way of thinking.
That's not true.
But no, it's what you said. You said if we all in the same party, we're in this one party.
But we can have different similar ideology. It's safe to say, me and you have similar ideology, but we think 2 different ways, and we can have a debate on how to work together and find a solution to some of the problems.
Yeah. Example, your year, you don't like red, I don't like red, she don't like red. That's 4 years, right? If one person come in, like the person who don't like blue, how can that person ever get imparted they don't like red?
What?
If we all like for farm animals to be, dealt with safely, and I'm going too deep.
I think you lost yourself, bro.
I didn't at all, because I'm like, actually, if we're all on the same ideology, then how does different ideologies get involved? If we all have the same ideology, I don't think one. I think it has to be.
Listen, what I'm saying.
We can't have all the same ideology.
Me and you have the same ideology of wanting to progress the black community, okay? But we just have two different ways of how we would do it, right?
Yeah.
So how that will work is we'll brainstorm. I give you my ideas, you give your ideas, and we brainstorm. We work together, and we come up with the best solution from both sides. You might be great. You might be great with but you might be great with one way. I might be great with doing something else over here, and we just combine them together, bro. We come together like
the
Voltron.
only thing that really matters is the end result.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying I want to keep the black people. I don't want to impress the black community. I want the entire country to come together. And I'm not going to make nothing special for the black folks. They gotta do what everybody else doing.
I mean, you still have people voting in their representatives, and so as a people, we should be voting in representatives who are like-minded as the community that they would represent and they will put in office. I mean, it should work fine how it is now, but some of the issue is some of these people who are representatives, we vote them in, and they do nothing that we ask them to do.
Yeah, and then there's some who do everything we ask them to do.
And so that is true when they said the swamp needed to be drained, that's a true thing. Swamp needed to be drained. Problem is Donald Trump was just as much as part of the swamp as the people he was trying to drain.
Yeah.
So
and that's why, and to put a cap on it, where I think that we lose some of the audiences lose me is that there's definitely a senator right now in Washington that's checking, a senator for making bad deals or making sneaky deals. Just like there's a senator trying to make a sneaky deal, there's 100% a senator that's like, nah, man, bro, why you doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that at times we tend to look at we don't understand that however it shakes out in the world, it's always going to be 50-50. Like for every energy, if energy never leaves and it reinvents itself, that means that the energy that started that fight can end that fight too. Like there's always contrast to energy. So if we just say, oh, the government messed up, we know it's the Barack Obama in government, man. You have to vilify everybody if you're gonna say the government messed up. Is what I'm saying, like, and that's what we do. So we turn to like, oh man, he with them. You know what I'm saying? Like cops. We vilify all cops because it's bad cops.
I don't think that's a true statement. So I think you're putting blanket statements over people though.
I'm talking generally, but I'm not saying every single person in the world. I'm saying that generally speaking, people say fuck 12 because of the actions of bad cops, knowing for sure there's 100 cops out there that's doing good, but we group everybody together, or baby out with the bathwater. They burned out the entire police station because of what 3 bad cops did in a different city. They were enraged, and I'm not saying that the cops don't need to be checked in certain ways. I'm saying that
I think that was the result of more than one situation, though. But I think that was the result for more than one situation, and the fact that how that situation played out, like people woke up one morning and saw a man die on their phones, bro. Like that in itself is different, bro. And that is going to, and like how I said, media manipulation. Like that shit was all over everywhere too long, and it was allowed to be because I think certain people, by the media and other people, I think certain people wanted certain results from that. As much as we can censor shit, bro, you mean to tell me that video was being pushed? Like that shit was on IG and Facebook way too long.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, you don't agree? As quick as we can censor something, if you get on your Facebook Live right now and start spewing Jewish hate, you're going to be cut off quickly, and B, you're going to be in Facebook jail. Try it tomorrow.
So okay, so know
Try
what?
it tomorrow.
That takes me all the way back to the beginning, all the way back to the very beginning. Like, okay, if that's the case, if we can't even say anything Jewish hate, then that nigga can't say nothing about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, he can't.
I didn't want to get back here.
You see what I'm saying? If we can't even say that's right. This is my thinking pattern, bro. You just explained it to me perfectly. You say, "Well, I can't even do. We can censor stuff. I can't. You can't even say this
as an
about Jewish
example.
people."
You just said
I
it.
don't
that
think we
you
can't even say Jewish people.
I don't
you
think.
said try it.
I was just using that as an example. I think if you get on your Facebook Live and start spewing black people hate as well, you'll be censored and put in Facebook jail.
But what I'm saying is, if I agree, you're right.
So I should have just said slurs.
I don't know, bro, because I done seen nigga kill Gil die on Facebook, so I don't know about that.
You ain't seen what?
I've seen some black people hate been spilled just because it was a different format. That's another conversation. That's about media and whatever. What I'm saying is, if we can't say that, neither can they. That's all I'm saying.
How you feel about Eminem?
I think Eminem is. What about Eminem?
How you feel about him?
I mean, he's a rapper.
How else do you feel about him?
Well, he's a rapper. He's a white dude to rap. Got a bunch of money because he was a sideshow to rap, and he was relatable to white kids.
Don't we have similar audio and video with him in the N-word?
We have a song where he made
Same thing with Jay. How you feel about
No, he don't have. We have one song he made.
It doesn't matter if it was once or 100 times, right? Though it doesn't matter, right? If it was once or 100 times, right?
You're right. So once again, if you said that, then how did Joe Rogan not? How was it? How are you not saying? You know what? No, you can't say this at all. And it needs to be repercussions. And
I did say that though.
You know. Okay.
I said that.
I mean,
I'm just asking,
okay.
And that's my example is like we don't have that. And I'm not trying to say. let me make this clear. I'm not caping for Joe Rogan, and I'm not saying that whatever he's getting, he shouldn't get. I'm not saying any of that. If y'all if we want him pulled from Spotify tomorrow, I'm fine with that. I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is, where is that for the Justin Bieber? Where is that for Eminem? Where is that for Mel Gibson? Where is that for so many people that we can go say, hey, we can pull. There are so many white celebrities we can go pull. Same thing for Joe Biden.
They pulled Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson still making movies, right?
Yeah, but they pulled him off.
Mel Gibson still getting paid off Passion of Christ, right?
They pulled Whoopi last week for saying something.
Well, that was
Jewish.
bullshit because she didn't say anything racist. She simply said that what they had done to them wasn't about racism. It was about religion, I believe.
And that's where we agree. That's why I think we should. That's why I think we agree. That's what I'm saying. If she could not even say something, if she could say something that's kind of that could be thought of as racist, and they pull her, then if he does something that's plain, then we gotta pull him too.
But that's a lot of things is based on perception. You know, like it's a lot of it's based on simply off perception of how, just like I said, he apologized because somebody took offense.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the fact that this is what was said, it's the fact that somebody perceived it to be disrespectful. And that's a lot of things it's not necessarily what is done, it's how it's perceived. I mean, I done got Facebook done hit me for just saying I'm gonna kick somebody's ass and in a joking way, and it was violent.
Yeah,
that's the same thing about the 94 crime bill. They came out in 2021 or whenever they were running for office because they wanted your vote, and they apologized for what that 94 crime bill did to black and brown people, how it unjustly put people in jail. But Kamala Harris made her name off that 94 crime bill. Biden wrote it. Biden called it the Biden bill. And and one of the reasons why they didn't want to put Hillary in office was because of the bill that she had nothing to do with. Her husband had something to do with that bullshit. So and that's what I'm saying. To me, That's more egregious. More black and brown people's lives were affected by things like that than a white person who would say the N-word. So if I'm not saying you shouldn't, if you're going to go that far to say, hey man, this dude is egregious, cancel him, it's a lot more people we need to cancel with him.
Okay,
and we're not doing.
Then I'm on that.
I don't see that energy. But I don't see that energy. So that's why. That's why I made the comment and said, "Well, why now? What's behind it? What is the bigger machine behind it? There's nothing wrong with India. Ari pointed out. She pointed it out. She didn't like it. She want to pull her music from Spotify. I'm in full support of that. And if we say kick him off Spotify, hey man, I'm in full support of that as well. He shouldn't have said what he said. But what is the bigger machine behind that as well? Why are they trying to silence him now? That's all I was asking.
Well, I mean, I don't know. To me, it don't matter.
It should matter. We ain't silenced Eminem. We ain't silenced Justin Bieber. We ain't silenced Joe Biden. We ain't silenced Kamala Harris. It's a lot of people we haven't silenced. Why are we choosing to silence Joe Rogan?
Huh? Who have we silenced?
Nobody, actually. If you want to know the truth, we ain't silenced nobody.
What I'm saying, so it got to start.
But they silenced us. They silenced the baby.
But I'm saying, they silenced Whoopi Goldberg. That's what I'm saying.
But we can't silence anybody because we don't own any of the platforms to silence anybody, Book.
And we also don't have to support these people. We don't have to. We don't own the platforms, but we do.
But this is the piece that I was trying to make about Rogan. We already don't support him. That's not our demographic and audience. Right. Bro, on some real shit. And 90% of the black people I've talked to who are upset, and they should be, and they have every right to be, bro, they don't even know what Joe Rogan does or what his platform is. They just heard he said nigga 20 times, fuck him. And if that's how you feel, I'm 100% with you on that.
That's all I'm saying.
But the other piece is we don't, bro. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a real question. Yeah. Let's say Joe Budden podcast. From time to time, nah, he don't do it. Okay. There's a podcast out there. I think it's the Fit and Fresh podcast. Mm-hmm. Them dudes had a whole pod about. They had a whole pod where they were egregiously partaking in colorism, saying that's why we don't date darkies, telling these dark African American young ladies on their pod to their face like, yeah, no, we don't date darkies and shit like that, and making jokes about rape culture, all of that. And I'm assuming they're trying to go viral, but we didn't stand up and counsel them dudes.
I agree. Why
did we not stand up and counsel them dudes?
Well, I think firstly, them dudes didn't have a big enough audience. It was a sound bite from a smaller podcast. So like,
it was their podcast.
Yeah, but it was a small podcast that didn't have a following, that was massive. They had a decent following, but not nothing that was like on Joe Rogan level. But
should it matter though?
When they get big, so basically when they get bigger, then you're gonna go back and say, well, they did this or they said that.
And that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. A lot of people didn't know that. It shouldn't matter. And that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't matter the size of the platform. If you say something egregious, and racist, bro, like we should have that energy for everybody. And you made my point. It's not that big of a platform where people knew about it, where it would even care, because no one is listening to them to move any kind of culture.
Heard it, yeah. But once you heard it, you was like, oh yeah. Things, even though I don't know who you are, if that name comes up,
right,
we put an X on that right away.
And all I asked was, why now? Why when he's had this run 4 weeks in a row of these healthcare professionals, doctors, and ex White House officials that are giving information. And it's not misinformation because it's not anti-vax. They're just giving people information about COVID-19 and what's going on. Now, all of a sudden, we want to. Joe Rogan's supposed to be canceled. Like now, all of a sudden, this is coming up about Joe Rogan. That's my thing, because it came up before she went and found it. So the first thing came up was the misinformation and the Neil Young thing. And then it came out that he said nigga in the past. Then India Irie went and researched and found him saying nigga. And then she said, I'm pulling my music off Spotify because Joe Rogan said, nigga. And I get it. I understand it. I 100% agree with if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. I just think there's a machine moving behind it that wants him canceled for certain reasons. I feel like if he was pro-vax and pro-do whatever Fauci and the government say do on his pod, we wouldn't have this conversation right now. Like, it wouldn't even be a thing. We wouldn't even know. India Irie wouldn't be pulling her music. Brown Skin would be able to be played right after you listen to Joe Rogan. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I mean, that's how you feel. That's how you feel, man.
I don't feel any kind of way at all. I'm not saying we're supposed to champion Joe Rogan. I'm not saying that at all.
I'm just saying, I'm like, my whole point to like I said, the whole night really been is like, I don't feel like we militant enough compared to the way they treat us. And so if they treat us a certain type of way and we continuously like, well, like, cause they don't, like I said, we don't get no passes, man.
But see, that's different though.
I agree with you. I agree with you though.
But see, that's different though. Cause we
no difference. We ain't got no passes, man. This lady didn't say nothing racist, bro, and got kicked off the air. So if you say, if I can get it off the air for maybe for sure gets you off the air for a month, bro. Like they stop playing
runs TV
stuff.
in Hollywood? Who runs TV in Hollywood? And even music, who runs it?
But that's not the point.
And it is the point.
So
who runs
I agree with you.
It's the point.
The
Who
Jewish community has a large influence on Welsh.
So if black people ruled music, television, cinema, and all of that, if you said some ill will about black people and we didn't like it, yeah, I have the power to suspend you. I do. A black woman suspended her.
You think that gay and lesbians run Hollywood?
I don't know, but I think they have some influence in some rooms.
Why do they have influence?
Because they have representation.
Why they have representation? They're not more than anybody else.
But they have representation.
Why
in the seats that need it? So, prime example, you're able to kick Lil Baby or The Baby. It's The Baby. You're able to kick The Baby off the festival because you might have people of the community who are sitting in seats who make those decisions.
Okay, so question. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. If I have an influence on something, black people have an influence on something. If black people said, man, you know what, man, ain't no black coaches, I ain't playing today.
They ain't gonna do that.
But once again, do they have influence? Do they have, like we have? By that, it's been proven.
If the black NFL players said, hey, you know what, and we talked about this actually, if the black NFL players said, you know what, if y'all don't want to hire any black coaches, if y'all don't want to let any black owners get in the league, we're going to leave the NFL and we're going to go start our own league of play. It'll be a totally different approach to that. But they're not. But everyone is not going to do it because there's some people who are at the top tier that can sustain it. And then there's some who are taking care of 15 people, and I got to get this check. So I'm going to deal with it.
What I'm saying
some people and some of them don't even care, bro. Some of them don't care. Some of them don't care whether my coach is black, white, pink, orange, green, blue. I'm getting a paycheck. I'm finna go run this ball.
You think that, okay. And it's like, so I want to end this off. Do you think that every Jewish person in Hollywood doesn't like Whoopi Goldberg or thought she was racist?
I think the majority of the people probably know who she is as a person, know she ain't racist, and probably know what the truth is. I think in this climate, however, networks and other people are afraid to offend everybody but us.
And once again, there's a reason why they're not afraid to offend us.
But we don't even have any representation in these boardrooms.
We ain't gotta have representation.
You have to.
Our dollar's representation, bro. Our dollar says that if
some
we ain't
people don't
that,
even care, bro, and some people are still gonna buy it. And some
that goes
and
back
the other
to
piece is
togetherness.
I don't think the view is our demographic. I don't think art is our demographic.
Man, I can name 100 different situations from every demographic that black people are in that we've been disrespected, and we haven't united to say, you know what, man, if y'all don't get right, we gonna start messing with y'all. Nike came out with the shoe. Nike came out with the shoe.
What talking about? Prime example. Prime example is the NFL. So we said Cap got egregiously done wrong, right?
We still play games.
No, but I'm saying we said Cap got done wrong. I mean, he didn't get done right. Jay-Z stepped up, and took the position he took in the NFL. Answer me, what did he do?
What did he do? For who?
Just for the culture to have representation finally at that seat. What did he do for equality with people in the NFL, and what did he do for making the NFL be aware of some of the social issues they were faced with? Why Cap was kneeling? Did he make a difference? Did he do anything?
Technically, no.
So we're asking, how come we don't rally around people when we do get someone in position to rally around? We don't get the results that we probably should get. To the point where he told people not to participate in halftime shows, just to turn around and get a halftime show.
Yeah.
So we also have to have something to rally around.
But once again, like I said, if we say Cap's done wrong and we're not playing for 2 days, for 5 days, for a week, for a month, bro, our dollar is more powerful than anything could be said. But like you said,
out of all those players in the NFL, everybody went on that same line. Everybody didn't feel that way.
That's what I'm saying. We have to feel that way. We have to be
I can't make
black
you,
dude.
But I
said
can't,
nigga.
But I
now it's over then.
But I can't make you feel any kind of way. There's some black people who feel like, why should I be upset at somebody else outside of my race when the only person that I've experienced doing hateful shit to me is somebody who look like me? Like, that's a reality for some people.
Yeah, but
it is very much so.
You're talking about people who
I just posted a post about that today.
That's a reality for some people. I'm open-minded enough to know the difference. I'm open-minded enough to realize that if I'm living around 30 Asian people in my life, or if I'm living in an Asian community and the only people I've lived with and worked with and known were Asian people, I'm probably going to have some of my worst experiences with Asian people simply by proximity. So I get that. I get that. No, I've never been jumped by a bunch of white boys because I didn't go to school with a bunch of white boys. Like, it's some things that have never happened to me by white people simply by proximity. Now, as I've grown older, I've had lofty, I've had goals and aspirations. I've been in situations where I've looked around, I've been the only black person, and I've been treated differently because I'm the only black person. Or someone is shocked, oh, you can talk. Like, I didn't expect you to be able to communicate this well. Like, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been around that. So I know the difference. But you have some people to say, man, hey man, the black people didn't harm me the most in my life, so I don't really give a fuck what you got going on. I'm finna run this ball and make these millions and mind my business.
I have to agree.
Everybody's plight ain't our plight. Everybody's goals ain't our goals. Everybody's view and future for us ain't the same.
That can be said for anybody though. What I'm saying is, there at any point in any time in life, people have to make decisions. Like you said earlier, we have choices to make. People make choices, right? If I can tell you, man, I got the people over here, man, I can damn near guarantee they're gonna make choices based on emotion if we do this. And it's a coalition of people and other people who are complicit and like, well, shit, yeah, we're gonna do this and do that, so we know the only reaction is this, right? How long do we continue to still react the same way? Like, is this a master plan that we can't get out of? Is this the best scheme ever? Can we, like, when you say there are people who feel that way, I'm like, yeah, man, there were also slaves who wanted to stay slaves. Like, you telling me about the people who are gonna be lost anyway. People like, we're not talking about the people. We're talking about the people like Jamie Foxx, like Denzel Washington. Like, we should have heard from like Ice Cube. We probably have heard of him. Like, if you ask Ice Cube about it, he gonna be like, man, yeah, that white boy out his mind. Like, you can't feel it. You can't feel like, oh, he better not say it to my face, but no, he said it.
That's what the bigger issue is. You want to know what the bigger problem is? Do you want to know what the bigger problem is? I think the bigger problem is when I say we don't have representation. We don't have representation in a business like Spotify, where they would know, you know what? Why are we giving this man $100 million when from time to time he spews this kind of content? Not only did they know he spilled that kind of content, that's why they gave him the $100 million, because they know if nothing else, we're gonna get views, we're gonna get listens, because he's gonna say some controversial stuff. It might be borderline racist, but it's gonna draw listeners, because just like there was an outrage because NDIRE said, hey, I'm pulling my music off Spotify because he said nigga 20 times. Do you know how it probably was a spike in his views and listenership, bro? Because it probably was a whole segment of people who weren't all the way up on Joe Rogan, but now they want to go listen to it because that's their type of person, and that's why he's there.
But you know why the Qs and the AKAs and why, because I'm not a big fan of Greeks. I don't have nothing against them. I'm not a big fan of it, but I do respect the way they move, because the Greeks that I've come in contact with, at least, for the most part, like, they don't care what's going on. I don't care if Barack Obama comes through the door for a job application or for whatever. If a Q dog come in, he getting that. That's his. You know what I'm saying? That's very important to them, and they actualize it. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that, because like you're saying, I understand everything. I'm not going against what you're saying, but like, the actions that we feel in our personal lives have to match the actions that we feel in our political lives. If not, then that's the definition of faking, bro. I can't walk around here and say that I don't like Asian people and then go ask them to vote for me. That's faking, bro. I can't say with a clear conscience that I'm okay that he said nigga, but I'm not gonna be like, let's cancel him. Because I'm saying the reason why I say that is because I say he better not say nigga in my face. So I'm already telling you how I feel about him.
Cancel all of them. We'll cancel all of them. Let's cancel all of them. And the reason why that works with the Greeks, it only works because they have representation. So when someone puts in an application to work, and I can just go about what I do. When someone puts in an application to work, I do an interview. I'm in a seat where, to a certain extent, I can control. I'm in a seat where I'm representation. So, if there's a choice between a qualified white guy, qualified Asian guy, and a qualified black man, I'm hiring a qualified black man, because I'm in a seat of power where I can help promote change. Now, if that black man isn't qualified for the position that I have open, I'm gonna hire the best qualified person. And then I'm going to go look in other departments, and I'm going to say, well, hey, look, he wasn't quite qualified for me here, but he's qualified for you there.
I don't want to throw you
and get him in the door.
I don't want to throw you to the bus, but I'm going to say, are there people at your job in your position? Well, have you ever been at a job before where there are people in positions that are unqualified but got hired?
So the key was qualified for me, because
I answered the question.
Well, of
Are there
course,
people at your job who have positions that are unqualified?
But that's a loaded question because no matter where you go, there are always going to be
True.
people who are unqualified in
I
positions.
agree. Anything they get, some of them are
But
getting
we're
there
not
just
talking about
because
them.
of
We're
their skin
literally
color.
talking about my example. Of course, people get in positions because of who they know, not because of what they know. We know that.
That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is the Q dogs, whether I'm qualified or not qualified, that's a Q in here. Q getting in, man.
No.
That's
If I'm responsible,
getting in.
no. That's craziness. I'm directly responsible.
That's faithful.
No, listen to what I'm saying. It's not faithful. That's crazy. I'm directly all right. So if you own an insurance company and you need an insurance broker book,
Yes. I'm hiring.
Are you gonna hire
Yes.
someone who looks like you?
Yes.
But they're not qualified for the job?
Yes.
Or are you going to hire the person who's the most qualified for the job?
No, I'm hiring a person like me because I'm going to be like, okay, look, we have a conversation.
I ain't got time to train you. I need an experienced insurance broker.
Well, I'm going to have to sit with you. You're going to understudy now, man. Like, because that's what they do. I'm saying that
I'm hiring who's most, and that's part of the problem. I'm hiring who's most. Do. I don't care what they do. I'm telling you.
You gotta care what they do. They empower.
Listen to what
so
I'm
why you saying you don't care what they do?
Because I'm saying, okay, but I don't know. I don't want to argue because you totally overlooked what I said. What I told you was I'm going to hire who's best qualified for the job. And if I have 3 people and one of them is a black man and he's best qualified for the job, he's getting hired. And now if I have 3 people and a black man is not best qualified for the job I need him to do, I'm going to hire who's best qualified, but I'm going to take his resume and I'm going to find somewhere in my company where he is qualified and I'm going to get him in the door. And then mentorship can start there. Then I can mentor him to get to the position he wants to or needs to get to.
I understand. And like I said, we're just going to feel different about that. And that's cool. Like I said, for me, I'm like that. We've all been in a situation, different jobs where somebody we're qualified, and this person over here is not qualified, but they got hired because their mama or their cousin or they nepotism or it's a Q and their Q, and they will.
And then we in return had to do our job and their job because they weren't qualified for it.
Exactly.
But me
gonna put them in.
Me being in the position that I'm in, I don't want to have to do double and triple work. So I'm going to hire who's qualified. And then I'm still going to look out for you and get you in the door and get you in a mentorship program.
I agree. I mean, I'm not, like I said, this is the conversation that I feel like we have different ways to think about it. And it's okay. For me, what I'm saying is that the hurdle I keep coming to with people, with black people of color when it comes to certain situations is like, we don't have no Christmas addicts no more. All right. And I'm not saying you have to sacrifice your everything and die for whatever, but people don't put the greater good of the situation on the forefront. And it's nothing wrong with that. I can't fault nobody. I understand. What you're saying makes sense, bro. I understand. It makes sense. Yeah. Why you gotta work double time? Why do you got you don't have to? Yeah. Go get you an entry.
But let me ask you. No, but I have a question though. I feel you. If I'm in this position and if I'm in this seat, how can I help out more people to look like me best? If I hire somebody just because you're black and then you don't pan out, I have a couple of those hires and then they just keep not panning out, and then I can eventually lose the seat I'm in, and now we lose representation there. Or
why do you think it's gonna pan out?
Excuse me.
Why do you think it's not gonna pan out?
If I'm just hiring somebody because they're black, not because they're qualified, I'm hiring someone who's not qualified to do the job I need them to do.
Okay, so why not try to qualify them? I mean, is there not?
Exactly.
Why not try to train them?
Excuse me, say it again.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Why not try to train them?
So you are correct. Sometimes there are positions where you can have a training program for people who aren't all the way qualified. And as you know, if you have a business or you're working in a company, sometimes people have to have certain credentials. I can't hire somebody to build websites who never built a website, but I'm hiring them to do it just because they're black. I don't have time for the learning curve. However, if I find a place in this firm or in this building or in Microsoft where they can start on the ground level and get the training, I'm still being loyal to my people.
I agree.
So this is one thing I know because I've been in management. One thing that I know is sometimes when people have the experience and they move on to another company, they have to be trained anyway, because I operate my business different than the last person operate their business. So I got to teach them how I operate my business. And usually it's better for somebody not to have no experience at all and them teach them my way first versus them coming in with some other experience trying to handle my business the way they handled the last business. It doesn't always work for them to have the experience.
So
I mean, of course, people lie on their resume all day long.
Let me ask you a question. I'm hiring a senior mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
I got a black man who applied for the job who has no mechanic experience, but I also have a mechanic apprentice position available as well.
Yeah.
What would make the most sense? Would it make sense for me to hire someone in a position where I may do things differently at my shop or my dealership, but you still have to have the basic knowledge of how to fix or work on a car? Why would I put you in that position where it can cause me more money and troubles, where I can say, you know what, there's someone else more qualified for that position, so I hire the most qualified person, but I do have this mechanic apprentice position open. Hey, I'm gonna hire you for that. That way you can get in the company, you can learn the craft, you can learn the skill, and then you can move up to be a senior mechanic.
Okay, but but my thing is and I understand where you're coming from with that, but what I'm saying is, what if they already, let's say they went through classes or the training or whatever, and just like, let's say you just graduated and they just don't have the experience. The only experience they have is what they learned, what they just learned.
But now you're still talking about someone who's qualified for the job, because you're not coming in the door without any knowledge of how to repair a vehicle. So you're qualified for the job.
I agree. You're right. You're right again, Dub.
It's just like an accountant, bro. I can have an accountant firm, and I need an experienced accountant who may have 2 years experience or a year experience. I can, or someone fresh out of college with an accounting degree. I can hire you for that. Because if you don't have any tangible accounting experience that I can use, I'm not finna hire you to handle $1 million accounts. If you can't even prove, to me that you can do the basic function of an accountant,
the calculator,
you can't even prove to me that you can do that. So why would I hire you just because you look like me? But I have a position that, hey man, I can hire you to start on the ground level. We got tuition reimbursement at this company, bro. You can start here. You can go to school and get your accounting, whatever, how that works here, or however you do. I know school, you don't have to go to school. You can go do other things, do all that stuff there. And then 2 years, boom, you got the experience. Boom, you've made the connections. You've made the relationships. You got the track record, all of that. But no, I can't hire you to handle accounts, and you don't even know the basics of accounting. How?
I think that my point is that 80% of the jobs that you get, like you were saying, you're going to learn the way the company does it.
It's a difference. Look, when I switched jobs, the philosophies and the culture was different, but the foundation of my job of buying a car is what you have to like. You have to have that knowledge.
But I'm also saying that people get hired in your position, at your position, in higher positions. Donald Trump did it. Like, people get hired on nepotism all the time. People get hired on colorism all the time without experience.
That doesn't make it right, though.
I didn't say it make it right, but what I'm saying is that, but they get hired on the spots because the person hiring them knows, okay, I know you don't know this, so I'm taking the responsibility. Like, I'm a guide to do this till you get to where you can do it on your own. And what I'm saying is that, once again, that's what they do.
And so because of that, when I'm in the seat, I should do that as well.
Well, I'm saying,
and I'm asking. I'm not saying you're trying. I'm just asking about the logic you're saying.
That's what I was saying about the perfect. A good example of it this weekend. We had playoff games in the Charter League, right? And so, playoff games, you got to do 3-man rotation. get to talk to the, because I don't know the reps coming. We're at a random pool of reps or whatever. It's 600 reps. We meet up at before the game, at the game. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Yeah, my name is Coach. I think his name is Cliff something. Yeah, I do NCAA games. So and so, high school, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, I've done high school before. I've done JUCO games. Never did, doing high school, middle school, elementary, whatever. Other guy comes up like, oh man, it's my first time ever doing 3-man, right? So we all black. So we supposed to ostracize him, like, man, this brother, why she even got him here? He can't do this. Is his first time doing 3-man?
It's his first time ever doing 3-man, but can I ask you a question? Was it his first time ever refereeing basketball?
It don't matter. This don't matter, bro.
But the bases are the same, though, right?
No, it's not, bro. It's a whole different rotation. So every time you move, if you do the wrong way, we look crazy.
Right.
Every time. So would
you still hire him though?
He was hired, and we got through it, bro.
That's the difference, though. Y'all, he showed up, right?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Time out.
I'm
finna ask you a question.
Okay.
You are in charge of. You are high up in NBA officiating ranks.
Yeah.
All right. I call you on the phone. Hey man, I want to be an NBA ref. Hire me. You gonna hire me?
I ask some questions. I might.
But if I'm going by your logic, I ain't ref. I'm me, Dub, right now, 40-year-old Dub. I ain't ref real basketball. And I call you and say, hey, man, I want to be an NBA ref. You gonna hire me?
You said qualified. You said,
I'm asking you. I'm not fuck what I've been talking about. I'm asking you. Are you gonna hire me?
I'm not gonna hire a bumbling idiot.
Are you gonna hire me? This is you.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm not gonna hire somebody. I'm not hiring nobody that's completely void of possibility of doing a job. Of course, I'm not saying be ridiculous, but I'm saying most of the time unqualified means I don't have this piece of paper or I don't have that qualification. It don't mean I ain't never touched a wrench in my life. I could have been working on cars my whole life. I couldn't afford to take that test. I couldn't afford to go to mechanic school, but I know all this stuff. These 5 dudes
so
over
I guess
here,
you're misinterpreting what I said when I mean you're not qualified. So when I said when you're not qualified,
I know the word qualified means.
No, I know you know what the word qualified means, but what I'm saying, this is how we get to the back and forth. I didn't say because you don't have a certain piece of paper, I'm not going to hire you. I said if you're qualified, meaning I know that you can do the functions of the job, meaning you have a track record that can show me you can do the functions of the job. So you don't have to have a piece of paper from the school saying that you know how to work on a car. But if you can show me tangible track record of you being able to work on cars, an example of that could be fresh out of school. An example of that could be I have 4 years previous experience at X paint and body shop or X dealership. I have that track record to look at.
What if the example was I'm a chemical engineer? I ain't never worked a car in my life, but I'm a chemical engineer. If they were who? You're gonna be like
a chemical engineer.
I'm a chemical engineer, but I ain't
if they were a mechanical engineer and never worked on a car in their life, that's different. I can hire you.
I'm a chemical.
But if you're a chemical engineer and you've never worked on a car in your life, you're gonna have to start at the apprentice level.
Yeah.
Because if I hire you at the rate, no. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Oh no, say what you're going to say.
So you feel like because I don't have experience in doing this thing of mechanics, that I don't have the brain capacity to figure this out, but I can do chemical engineering.
Everybody,
I'm not saying
do the same thing.
I'm asking the question. I asked you a question.
100%. You can have the skill. You can have the smarts to be a chemical engineer.
Yeah.
And you can not be able to work on a car. 100%.
What's the chances of that going? Is that
it's
more?
A lot. There's some chemical engineers that can't even change a tire.
They don't want to change the tire. The niggas can change the tire if they wanted to. They definitely have the physical
why
and mental.
All right, so prime example. I hired the chemical engineer who has zero experience. Day one, say, my guy, I need you to switch these transmissions out. Go.
Okay. And once again, and like I said, I'm not trying to get a nitpicking, but what I'm saying is that if you can assume that they ain't gonna work out, you should also assume that a chemical engineer is gonna be able to figure these things out before he gonna come to work like, well, I don't know about this, but give me this book and I can figure it out because I'm a chemical engineer. Like you have to have.
I don't have time. But you don't have time.
You don't have time. They might.
You don't. Just a function of a dealership shop doesn't have time for you to figure out 2 days to pull a transmission out. A job that should take you 6 hours.
So if it takes me 8 hours, you mad? It took me 2 hours to read the book.
No. It's flag hours. It's how you get paid. It's literally what this job should take X amount of hours to complete. So if I'm hiring someone who has a background in, they're gonna know when I come into a dealership, it's flags hours. This is how I get paid. This job takes X amount of hours to get done. This job takes X amount of hours to get done. That job should take X amount of hours. That's how you get paid. You go over the hours, you don't get paid. The customer gets upset because the customer was told my vehicle will be ready by this date, and it's not ready by that date. It's a lot of different variables going into it, and you can be a genius, and you also can look at a transmission and A, not even know what the transmission is, and B, don't even know how to take it out properly.
I got you, bro. I got you. I mean, like, I feel you, man. Like, to me, it's like you're talking about. I got you, bro. Like, nah. Like, I mean, I got you, man. I can't.
And so this is the biggest beef that I do have to answer your question, to go back and then we can end. When you say I get upset with you, is because this is a perfect example of A, having a conversation and not finding a median place, because the conversation has always been taken back to say, I feel you, but I don't feel you. And then you go, but listen, and then you'll go find, you're gonna go try to keep pulling examples to discredit what was said, to say why this would happen.
Bro, I'm just saying, in real life, bro, in real life, you're talking about the thousands of millions of jobs they have in the world, bro. Like, the majority of those jobs, you learn the job on the job. Like,
every job you learn on the job as you go. You get the found, but you get the.
There are more instances of jobs where. Go ahead. Sorry. There are more instances of jobs where, like, if I'm a TV, like, you think every TV repairman went to TV repair school? You think every mechanic went to mechanic school? You think every doctor went? Like, sometimes people go to school for one thing or proficient in one thing and can go get changed their career the next day and be right on point. But what I'm saying is, you saying that, well, in this one specific area, like, I'm saying that in your job, there are people that have high ranking positions that don't belong there. And the only reason they're there is for color reasons. And it's every job. And I'm saying, so if that's the case, they've proven that you can move like this and be successful. But somehow when I say, like, well, no, it ain't gonna make sense. I know it don't make sense. You're right. It don't make sense. I agree with you. It doesn't make sense. But how do we make it make sense to where we can move? Like, we have to start doing things that are nonsensical, because this making sense thing, it ain't worked. It ain't worked in the long run. That's why I don't feel like people be militant enough, man.
That whole last part you just said, I never said any of that. But I got to get out of here, though, man.
Yeah. We record this, right?
So this has been another episode of the 16 Shots Podcast with Young James Williams and AR Dub.
Tell me how you took, and I'm going to tell you what I meant.
And we out.